Yes.
There you go. You're good to go.
Technology.
Technology, everyone.
What? She's like, who's that voice? I'm like, it's the computer's voice.
Throws us all off.
Okay, so the rules for this game. So take a drink when I say when Rupert makes a comment about Molly's behavior. He's currently outside with a friend right now. He will make his appearance, I am sure. I nearly said not starting this early. Anyway. Number 3, take a bite of cake when Molly starts describing her man in lurid detail.
Oh, damn.
Welcome. Molly says dirty priest. Yeah. She also just looked over. She's like, anyway. Finish your drink when I start to cry.
Oh God.
I really don't think it's gonna take long, so here we go. Anytime someone snorts, very good. I think we also mentioned something about if somebody snorts their drink out of their nose, then we should all
I think that was
that'll burn. That'll hurt.
Please don't let it be me. I have white blanket. White blanket and a very pink drink. It's not gonna go.
And the last two are if I cover my face with my hand. I think I've already done that. And Molly gives Melissa Otero Price a birthday shout out. Sorry, did I say your name correctly? Are you on, Melissa? Okay, well, that will wait. Okay. So we have to wish her a birthday shout out. Hey, you need to chill. Roger can sit in my lap while I have cake. Okay.
To Molly or was that to Rosie?
That Rosie who she just walked through. Okay. Molly she's weird about dogs, so she was just like this just now. Like, yeah, yeah, you did. Okay.
Why am I drinking?
Those are the rules. Drink whatever you want. It doesn't matter. If you are not getting drunk today, just make me feel better by acting drunk. That's all I'm going to ask.
You get bonus points if we can make Molly blush.
Oh,
That
was like a straight up challenge.
That was a serious challenge.
I love that.
So first question, and I'm going to go back to the questions that all of you wrote in the chat just to kind of keep, I think it was Courtney's post. Yeah, burning questions for Molly. I'll start with those, but I'll go back to the one that you asked of if Molly has questions about anybody in the group. Something about where people are from. Is there somebody in particular you want to ask about? Kim, you have blue hair. Where are you from?
I'm from Seaside, Oregon. So I'm right in the top left corner of the state.
Okay. That's pretty convenient.
She's like, I don't know where that is.
Way far other ocean.
Oh,
the left side of the country.
I'm projecting where somebody she knows who lives out there. Oh, that's it. Okay. Alice, by the way. But anywho, okay, cool. So beside you, I'll go to the other screen. Marie, you have been chosen. It's because of your hair. She's asking people about their hair. Where are you from?
I don't think she'll know where I'm from either. I'm from New Mexico.
She knows where Mexico is.
Oh, well, then I'm right above it.
Yeah, that's it used to be part of Mexico. Okay. Oh, is yours, you know who I'm talking about watching with you right
now? He's off in the corner.
Okay. Because there wasn't, oh, who's that?
He kind of, and then.
Cool. Well, we'll have a great time when you come to visit.
Yeah.
I made Will leave the room, Rebecca. I was not about to have another boobs incident with Molly in the room.
Wait, another boobs incident? What?
Oh, yeah, no, he's gotten really great at waking me up in the middle of the night and being like, why are my shows not on? And just projecting all kinds of shit. And
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, can we not? I had to kick him out because I have a new partner and I was like, you're not invited tonight. Out. So he's not here right now. I don't know how long he'll stay away, but if she starts looking over my shoulder, just hide the alcohol at that point. I don't want you.
Noted. God, that's so good. How about Amber, because that's a great story. Do you want to share it with folks? Because I think everybody else is like, what in the world?
Yeah, so my best friend crossed to the other side about 6 years ago. Actually, it was 6 years ago this week, it was the 23rd. And I, for a long time, had really felt that he was still around and got on with Rebecca. I had to promise not to yell at him before he would talk, even though he knew I was lying. And he told her that I talk a lot, which was funny. But at the end of the call, I asked him about the person that introduced me to him, who was his best friend and somebody I had previously been in a partnership with. I was like, you owe him something. You left us the way you did. You owe him something. And he just put titties in Rebecca's head. She goes, I don't even know how to, I'm just going to tell you what he showed me. Yeah, we're right. Hey, everybody, hand on the face, drink. But yeah, so he flashed big blonde boobies right in her face, and so I didn't get a chance to follow up with you. I did call Matthew, and I couldn't even hold it. I was like, no, you have to know what happened. You have to know. I was like, I know he wanted me to be all sneaky and like, this is from beyond the grave. But what I didn't know, what you couldn't have known, was because he passed away 6 years ago. This is before like GIFs and things were a really big thing. So it's because they're guys, they don't talk like normal fucking people. Apologize to anybody that's offended by that in chat, but they don't. Those kinds of guys. But to check on each other, they would just send pictures of boobs. And so when I told him that, when I was like, he said the titties on this side are fantastic. Matthew started crying. Yes, that was what came with it. Sorry, I didn't get the other part of that out. But yeah, Matthew started crying. He's just like, you couldn't have known that was our way of connecting and everything. And I'm just like, yeah. So he's here. He's gotten really good at turning on my computer from nothing. And I have a router across the room that I told Rebecca had started lighting up about a week before our appointment. And so now anytime I have a nightmare, he lights it up to wake me up. If I ask for something in the middle of the night, suddenly I have a light turn on. It's been an interesting couple months getting settled into all that. But yes, he follows me out of the house now. He used to just follow me as far as the car. And so last night I was staying with my new partner and literally was like, excuse me for just 1 second, go home. Bless Cameron, he was just like, did Will come over tonight? And I was like, yes. And he has some thoughts and some critiques that I'm not passing on. Just give me a minute. Let me bring this down to a twosome instead of a threesome, please. So yeah.
I'm gonna drink to that. That was very good.
So yes, my ghost over here in Molly would definitely have a lot of fun.
Just another, oh, she said, a modern man. Yes. Oh, is he big?
Okay, she's describing. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's. Yeah, Amber, you may have not intended for him to show up, but if she keeps asking, you just might. So that.
No, he's here. I feel him now. I like
Okay,
it.
yeah.
I started talking and he's like, I heard my name. So
yeah.
I'm tempted to move the router because it's kind of like one of the cat balls that lights up. I'm tempted to move it so y'all can see it so that if he lights up behind me, yeah, hold on. Let me go do that and I'll let y'all chat.
I love it. You have your own EMF detector. Okay. So the questions, let's see. I'm trying to get to a screen that I can like see. Okay, well, Gabby just talking about sex related questions. Let's see. how did the ladies back in the day keep from getting pregnant? Okay, this is a good question. Or at least I'm saying that. I don't know if she believes. Oh. Okay, so at first she said you just didn't. Okay, how did you not? She's describing it's something that they would take as a tea, but if you didn't have water, she would just like swallow what was what the herbs were.
Raspberry leaf?
Yeah, so sometimes they'd have like raspberry leaf or like things like mugwort and everything, usually for like contraceptive teas that they get usually from somebody in town. But we all need to drink because you've said a few times. So I'm guessing like 2 or 3 drinks maybe.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
My mom just brought me water so that I can. Thank you, mommy.
I have a question about would they use pennyroyal at all?
That seems to be familiar to her. She was saying that, see, now I'm aware of it. I'm like hyper aware of it now. So she was saying there's a woman in town who in part worked as a kind of madame, though she was also the woman you go to who made these things.
A wise woman.
Yeah.
Was this in Wilmington, Rebecca?
This
Like
is
an apothecary?
Okay.
Like a woman who runs an apothecary?
Not in the sense that we would think of an apothecary right now, because some of the things she grew, it's like she grew them out of her backyard area, what we would associate as backyard. So some of the things I think were imported as well, which is interesting. They were dried. Okay. Yeah, Molly didn't create the concoction herself. She said you would go and buy it. You could buy it in enough bulk to last you the week. And that this woman was in high demand. She sold, so I'm just counting us as ums at this point. Though I'm seeing she was on the north side of town. Town wasn't as large then. And there was, historically speaking, now I'm catching myself. Historically speaking, I'm actually working, the director of the Railroad Museum is a local historian, and she's writing a book on sex workers throughout history here in Wilmington. We're very excited for this book. And she was there for the live that got eaten by Mercury in retrograde, the first one that was with Molly. And she actually told us that there's this area on the south side of town where a lot of sex workers would have worked. And there may have been some places where women were more so renting out their rooms. Sash, can all of you hear Jay's squeaky chair over here that's like super creepy? Okay, they can hear your squeaky chair. He's just like,
take a drink, Jay, just because.
Jay excited.
They hear your squeaky chair.
Yeah.
And they say you have to take a drink because he has port.
You have to take a drink because, well, yeah, I was going to anyway.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Anyway.
So yeah, okay. The concoction, it changed according to the season and according to what was being grown. Though I don't, as far as what exactly was in it, it was more of an afterthought. She was just like, it did the job. So all of that was conveyed to me through pictures. That's fascinating. Because I was just like, picture of this side of town, picture of herb, picture of this, but it was the herbs ground up. So as far as like what flowers or different parts or that kind of thing, I'm seeing a concoction of green and white and gray, all kind of in this powder. I think she preferred the powder because it didn't require having to get water, because by that time, yeah, that makes sense too. She didn't trust the water so much downtown, which also historically speaking would have been disgusting by that point. And the river is really brackish too. So yeah, she just preferred taking it like we would take a pill, like put it on the back of your tongue, take a swig of, what did you drink?
I got it. Bourbon, whiskey.
Yeah, I got something clear.
Gin.
I thought it was gin. Though it may have also been bourbon. It depends. Depends what was available. Depends what came in.
Vodka.
Not vodka.
Potato.
Moonshine.
If only it was moonshine. That would have been good.
Was this something that she took every day or just when it was needed?
Sometimes it would be the last thing she did before going to sleep, and other times it would be the first thing she did in the morning.
Okay.
So like a plan B pill, I guess, if you would. Because she said she didn't like taking it if she didn't get work or if she was taking a day off. So
did it have
depended on
side
what her work
effects?
schedule was that day.
yeah, so side effects, sometimes there was cramping. Yeah, she said if she took too much, there was like a kind of cramping down there that was not typically worse than a period.
Okay.
So
it was doing.
what was that?
It was doing its job.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Did she work a lot on her period weeks?
What's that?
Did she work a lot on her period weeks?
Only when they wanted to.
You. Sorry.
I mean,
we're into it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I know
It's
a couple people who are into
kink,
it.
Lisa.
I mean, yeah.
There are fetishes.
I mean, is it a kink? Because like
my ex-husband loved it. It was gross. I hated it.
Yeah,
I know people
I
who
mean,
like.
it's just not like hugely represented in the community, so I don't really consider it a kink.
So I
or
think
a fetish.
I mean, where I'm from, it's referred to as
so
Red Wings. So
the difference in the fetish and the kink right there, I think, is the important piece, because it's definitely fetishized. Whether or not it's a kink, I think trends more into whether or not it's considered taboo. And so I think it is definitely a fetish, but not a kink.
Okay.
I will have to look up my human sexuality textbook. I'll just be like, what's the difference? What's the difference?
A fetish is an action or a trait that you need in order to get off, and a kink is just something you like to do.
We used to call it in high school running a red light. That's what it used to be, running a red light.
Red Wings, I heard earlier.
Details.
Yeah, Red Wings.
Details.
Should we take that picture right now then, Rebecca? Because
yeah,
Taylor's gonna be jumping off soon and everything. So
yes. Okay. So I'll have to take two because they're on two screens. Unless we can expand, and there'll be one. Nope, just that much. Okay. So I won't be able to hold my drink because wait, maybe I will. Yes. Okay. And I'm gonna change it to picture.
Abigail the cattail.
I literally just decided to start shuffling tarot cards. So I'm over. I was like, this is what I have in my hands right now.
All right, raise your drinks, everybody. Take one, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm gonna do the next one. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. Cool. I'm gonna trust that everybody looked beautiful in that, or handsome, or however you really want to look. That's what matters. So, P.S. If you're wondering Molly's thoughts on that one, she found the details extra. I love how we're all interested in that. Is like, is it a kink? Is it a fetish? That kind of thing. She was just more like details. It's a lubricant.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I heard. Like,
She's saying though there were days where she was.
All right, I hate to be the reason that everybody drinks, but my drink just came out of my nose.
Oh God.
I was not expecting that. Thank you, Molly. Appreciate you, babe.
Keep it together, Amber.
God bless her.
Basically, she said there were some who did prefer that because they didn't like to use up other substances as a kind of lube.
Okay.
Which, I mean, to me makes me think that they were cheap or something, or that they were dumb, that they couldn't just like get it. Yeah, here we go. So
Another drink?
yeah, for that. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next question. Sorry. Great. Yes, Ivy asks, can ghosts have sex? And if so, can they also use toys? So, damn it. So,
It's okay.
you all know me. Okay. It so happens, you were so funny. Her leg is falling off of the couch and she's just tapping me in the back. Thank you. Thank you. That's very good. It so happens that before this call, I happened to show Molly some of my toys. I just figured that she would be interested, which she was. Damn it. We're all dying because of me. I am sorry.
Is it weird that I can almost see Molly in the back going, yeah, this was an interesting conversation.
Not weird at all. I'm sure all of you are picking up on all sorts of fun things right now. So intuition is cool.
Now I have to ask Rebecca, did you do that because I did the same thing to Marie's ghost the other day?
Actually, it's because Molly was between this room and I was like on my computer in the bedroom for a little bit, and she saw some of mine that were just kind of hanging out, and it was a combination between that and some that were somewhere else, because when we're comfortable about what we have, and that I'm pointing at Jay. So yeah, I was just like, oh, this is a this and this is a this. Damn it. Okay.
Don't you have a degree in performing arts?
No!
We're gonna be on the floor in no time.
Put your toys away.
Already on my second. I'm nervous.
Yeah, same. I'm like, dang, at this rate, I'm gonna kill a whole bottle of wine. Thanks,
That
Rebecca.
is why I went with
only
my
bought a
boss.
six-pack. Like,
So, Stacey, I'm
Hand
gonna
on
definitely
face.
have to make some of those hydration jellos because I
Oh,
have
girl.
Mexican gelatin packs and liquid IVs, so I can mix
I got my Pedialyte. So
I ate a whole bunch before I got on this call and my burritos. So
Is that a
Ooh.
Abigail, is that a gummy bear container? Like,
it's my water bottle. It's a bear.
I
Oh,
love
did you get
that's
like from a night-
adorable.
I conned
my
all
God,
of
I
my
love
friends
that.
into buying one before we went to the beach last weekend, and we have a family picture. I'll post it. In
Yes, please do.
Like, didn't everybody see my burrito baby picture from the other day? Because on the last call, I was officially named Burrito Baby. And so I
Yes.
had the giant baby bottle drink from the fair that I went to, plus a hot Cheeto burrito.
Oh,
Let's get a shirt that says burrito baby on it.
I
that's a
think
must have.
sparkly like cursive letters. I would really like that.
Isn't hand on face a drinking thing?
Yup.
Yes.
All of you came up with these rules. I blame you. I hold you responsible for your own drunkenness at this point, or drunkenness in spirit, because I know some of you are unable to drink at the moment or choosing not to, which that is fine.
I have no one to blame but myself because I'm the one that wrote the idea for the rule because I knew that you said it a lot.
Especially
Rebecca,
when
I'm just-
handling.
I'm just thankful that my daughter's not here right now. This is one of those times I'm glad she's off with her boyfriend. Lord.
Oh goodness. So, oh yes, the whole toys thing. She found them very practical. So fun story. She knows about sex toys because of Sorsha's spiritual companion, Adam. Adam was the one to explain them to her. And you know, the way that I channel, it's primarily through images or just like knowing stuff and that kind of thing. Every now and then, though, I would get like a claircognizant drop that lines up with my inner ear clairaudience. And that so happened to be, quote, buzzy things. I did not know that Sorsha and her husband called them buzzy things until I hear Molly say, oh, buzzy things. I know what they are. And I was like, what? Buzzy? And so like I messaged Sorsha and I was just like, yeah, she called them buzzy things. Isn't that weird? Sorsha just lost it. She was like, that's what John and I call them. So she knows about them.
She touched her face.
That's the best thing I've ever heard. That's amazing.
Going to have to call Molly.
Is it a touch the face or covers the face?
I say both.
Both.
I mean, we're here to get lit, guys. Let's just talk about it.
I
Fair
initially
enough.
said face palm, and I've only seen that like maybe 3 times so far. So good job, Rebecca.
Okay, so was there like a specific toy that interested her more so than others?
Okay. So we're going off of my example toys. Cool. So we're all just gonna get to know me a lot better and what I like.
Whole new level. Bring it on, girl.
We're ready. Let's go.
I mean, if we need assistance, I have a whole chest behind us. I can start just pulling things out for her to critique.
And I got something really unique this year.
Yeah.
So if
You
need
show
something,
yours,
just
I'll
help.
show mine.
I mean, we can be all inclusive, so you're not alone if that's what you want to do.
That's the next, the
I'm
next
in
thing
love
up
with the
on the table.
solidarity.
Bring out the toy boxes.
So, okay, so there were 2. One is there. It's a so funny. I think of I don't know if any of you have seen it's the Gilbert Gottfried reads 50 Shades of Grey. It's a spoof. It's great. I recommend looking it up. It is so stupid, but basically when he says like clitoris, he always says clitoris. So now whenever I think of clitoris, I think of that. So I have a clitoris stimulator. It is about this big. It looks like a leaf. It's like a green leaf. And she said that it would be very practical because of how you can be receiving and still have it on top and that sort of thing. The other thing she found really interesting, it's another clitoris stimulator. The dildo was not as interesting to her. Yeah, Jay's over here like, but it's like this, it's this like pink little, it looks like half an egg. And then there are like 3 prongs and like one of them just buzzes and then the other 2 like move like this. And it's supposed to replicate, damn it, replicate. You should have said whenever Rebecca curses because this is what happens. When it's supposed to replicate, what am I thinking of? Oral. Wow. 2 sips for me because I couldn't figure out what oral was for a second. So, yeah, she said, what was that about oral?
He's with a customer.
Understood. Most of them are not.
You're at work, kids that are at home, situation.
Also, Taylor was getting
All y'all can be watching at the same time live. You can also record things.
You can actually mute people if you'd like. Yeah.
What was that?
I was gonna say you can actually mute people from your side if they don't know.
I did because I was like, "Who's that guy? What is he hearing?" Okay, so yeah, she was not impressed with my dildo. She apparently was more impressed with what Adam showed her. I have not seen Sorsha's toys, and I'm not going to get into those because Sorsha's not here to be able to get into that.
So what were the toys like back then? Were they like wood?
She said
that's a splinter I never want.
I said splitters are not good.
Imagine getting that out.
Oh.
Wood.
So she did this.
They were leather.
Fingers.
Yeah.
Double tapping the mouse?
Yep.
Or each other.
Double tapping the mouse is the best thing now. No, so if everybody is okay with it, when I was showing Marie's ghost my toy, apparently it had a very fancy feature on it. So mine is not only does it like vibrate right here for clitoral, but it also moves.
Perfect.
And he said,
"Oh,
not
good."
His reaction. He's saying, "Do not say what I said."
So I have that one too, but mine's purple. So good job.
Yeah, I got that on a
I
Fit
also
Factory
have
the
that.
Wet weekend in Tahoe with my friends. So it was a very fun time, but I'm apparently not allowed to say what he said to that, but Rebecca knows what his response was to the movement part. He did not appreciate it, is all I'm gonna say.
I'd say he's doing his best to damn it, acclimate to our modern times.
He was given pointers.
One person do it.
If nothing
was
else,
given
you're gonna teach
pointers
Rebecca.
by,
We're gonna Pavlov's bell Rebecca out of the today.
So Rebecca, I don't know if I told you this part, but he was actually given pointers by Heather's ghosts.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And then he agreed. I was like, this is good. This is good. Bringing people together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So while we're in like the, I'll show you yours if you show me. So I have this one and it has like the I don't know, clit sucker like 3000 up here, and then it has like and different vibration modes. Like, yeah.
I literally just hauled out the chest. Like, I don't know if y'all saw me like scooting over and pulling it over. I'm like, all right, so we have a flogger that's got a handle. It's just all right.
So what?
I'm polyamorous with a full BDSM dynamic. Like, we want to start showing Molly some shit. I got some shit.
So what does she think about us showing our toys to her? Like, is that, she find it weird?
She finds the color interesting. Okay, I'm going to explain this now because she also said, isn't it easier to get it if you want it? To which I'm going to say, Molly, some guys, a lot of guys, we don't want to deal with in order to get it. And toys, I mean, you saw the vibration, like it gets you there faster.
Job done. It gets the job done.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to have to deal
yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to. You don't have to want to deal with another person. You just need something quick to deal with yourself, and that's why you utilize this. Sometimes you have a headache and you want it to go away.
How often did Molly masturbate? Like, is that something she's comfortable talking about? I'm very curious about this.
I mean,
the reason why I touched my face, everybody. She said, don't you have friends? As in women friends, who would help you out if you needed something. I think your definition of friends.
I need Molly friends.
I wonder if I might have been Molly.
Wait, but
better friends.
But would that be like friends or coworkers?
So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the band Misbehaving Maidens, but they have a song called Twiddle.
Yes.
And every time I hear it, I think of Molly, and that her saying that just kind of solidified to me that would be Molly's song. So 10 out of 10, I think you need to look up that song and show it to her.
I just want to say my spirit team has been directly interfering with my sex life. Anytime I try to get a guy over, something happens. They can't come over for any reason.
I'm in a similar boat. And like, I mean, I have a more explicit toy that like, some of them are just not as well endowed as this.
It is show and tell.
It's true. Cool. Awesome. Well,
she was just like, Andra is.
It's
the suction plug on the back. That got me.
which is very helpful sometimes. Okay, it's easier to have hands off. Just saying.
I used to have one just like that I lost in the move to this house. I don't know where it went. I feel like somebody found the bag that was and threw it away.
Okay. Wait, can you hold up that again? Because she needs to check it out. She needs to know for sure. Okay. She said, maybe not that big, but close.
Izzy, how long is that one?
I think this one is an insertable at 7.5 inches.
Well, what's the girth?
2 inches around. This one's difficult for me.
Damn, girl.
I bought it when I was like way younger, and my ex-husband was not well endowed, so
good for you.
I mean, to be fair, like with my husband, I made sure that my toys were the same size as him so that I didn't have that problem.
I have a hard time like eyeballing measurements.
Well, I'm sitting there like I'm looking and I'm like, this is about right. Yep. And
you end up like me with multiple partners, and you can't do that because they're all over the damn spectrum, and you're just like,
that suck.
I have apparently
no, it really doesn't. I promise.
Izzy, I have been told by multiple men, if a guy said he's never measured how long he is, he's lying.
True. It's
So,
true.
Izzy, I just looked up the calculations. Your little toy there is like halfway to having a baby. Like that's ooh, no thank you.
Yeah, I don't use it often. It's been actually a couple of years since I last used it. So
kudos that you do. Kudos. Because
if anybody needs me, I'll be texting this to my boyfriend in comparison.
So she said something, but once again, the whole clairaudient thing, I'm trying to get it. She said that there was a word for people like women who could take it extraordinarily big, and they acquired a nickname. She knew 2 women in town who were also very large themselves, like as far as like, I guess, girth, and they knew how to fill themselves. They knew, okay, so boobs. So what was the name? Because it sounds
Molly's version of size queen.
Yes. Okay, maybe it'll come to me at some point. Damn it. If anybody else gets a claircognizant drop on what that name, because she keeps saying it.
I want you to just yell it out in the middle of like a conversation when it comes to you.
Cork stopper?
completely out of context.
What?
Cork something?
Cork's getting corkscrew, but cork stopper makes more sense.
Okay. She's just like, well enough.
Close enough.
So, cork stopper.
No.
Cheers.
I'm using that forever.
That made Rupert look up, and I'm not entirely sure why. Apparently I said that loud enough for him to be like,
aren't we supposed to drink if Rupert reacts on some of this stuff?
I think so.
No, only a verbal one.
Oh, okay.
Verbal comment.
He actually gets involved and he's like, excuse you, that's lewd.
Exactly. Kind of when he makes a comment towards Molly, or if Molly acknowledges him by saying dirty priest.
I'm legitimately starting to wonder if I might not be another life version of Molly, because I was definitely a 16th century whore. Let's just be real. No question in my mind. That's not a past life I have to go look up.
So Rupert did make a comment. He said that it was called something different when he was alive.
What was it called?
Pray tell, Rupert.
So, okay. Sorry, just keep drinking. Yeah, damn it. Nah, I didn't mean to do that twice. Okay. I'm getting.
I would like
to know how Rupert would know what it was called.
He
Oh.
probably partook.
Oh.
Just because he was a nice little boy doesn't mean he didn't hear things.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this. So he just said a few swear words and walked out. One, he said it was something having to do with cock. It was like cock something when you had a large one. And it was something that the men. What?
I heard that snort.
Somebody snorted. Drink.
I'm so sorry.
Yay, it's not just me.
So it was something like I'm getting on a memory that it was when he was in Wilmington, because they were stationed here for a little while rather than being on the move, which was a unique opportunity because they typically were not near a town, or at least where he was stationed before. So it was like a thing when the men would go to the bar afterwards and they would say, oh yeah, she opened up and she said I was a he just told me to stop. Okay, so I'm not allowed to guess this one. Apparently I am that bad. So
what if it's cockstop?
Cockstop.
Oh.
He's just muttering in Welsh now. Okay, we've done that to him. So I think that's a drink. When he mutters in Welsh, that's it.
We broke him.
So
we succeeded, everyone.
We broke him with love, though. I mean, it's
Right.
genuine curiosity and love. You know, good fun.
Dirty priest. Drink. Yeah, because she was picking up on what was being said and she says, oh, tell. Like, so, okay.
Hand on the face.
You won't. Okay. So, apparently, I've learned in education that a lot of men had their sexual awakening or, history awareness or whatever by being with a woman that one paid for back in the 1700s. So, buddy. My cat's scratching at himself very hard. He has dry skin. Anyway, so Rupert, I didn't touch my face. I just got close. Rupert initially told me that he had not been with anybody before Mary. And then Heather figured out that he had been. And then I got to ask him about that, to which I was like, what? And he's like, once. And I said, okay, cool. And then we started like diving into memories a little bit more. And I was like, once? Because I just saw that happen in 3 different port cities. Okay. How's that going? It was more than a few times. And it was all before Mary. So that was a thing. Basically, when he started to have feelings for her, he was not so interested in that. Cute. So
gotta tell us what required the cute.
Yeah, what did she say?
That he didn't sleep with anybody else after he fell in love with her.
Oh.
Because he was rather distracted by her.
Oh, that is
He was.
That is lovely.
Well, specifically to try and save her out of a terrible situation with her parents. So, damn it.
Again. Salute.
Sancho. So, yeah, the other reason for it was he was quartered in her home when he was living here. So he saw that he actually added a kind of safety for her because her parents were both physically abusive. So whenever he could be back at the house, that sort of abuse didn't happen. And he started to notice that, and she started to notice it too. So, yeah, but otherwise, he did get quite the education, and I can also tell you from things that I have channeled from my past life that it allowed him to be very patient when they did get married because he's rather large and she's rather small. So there needed to be
Rupert's making a lot of friends on this call, I see.
Let's be honest. He had to be patient. She was uneducated. So
yes, she had
See,
not.
but that's nice though. How sweet is that? That's so nice.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was in that situation, and so
This is
Very
why
good. It was
sex work
very
is necessary.
Okay, can I propose another rule?
Okay.
We drink when anything regarding Rupert is described.
Wow, that was like almost intuitive. Wow, that was really great because Molly was just like, so this big? And I'm like,
Oh wait, there goes Molly describing somebody in detail.
I know you thought she would describe. So, okay, here we go. She says, let me have your hands. Okay.
Molly said, tell me when to stop.
Hold on. You have not seen him. You don't get to. She wants to use my hands so that I have to correct her. Wow, this is really smart of you, Molly.
Yes, I am here for it. Go, Molly.
She keeps doing this with my hands, by the way. This is not accurate.
maybe what she's saying is that's what it feels like inside, not visual.
Ooh.
You go, Mary.
Gonna have to talking about size queens over here. God.
Oh, Mary.
She does her face.
Did she ever answer the question
Rebecca
if
covered her
she can
face.
have sex now?
What a great thing to bring up. Wow. Yes. Take my hands away. Okay. So anyway.
Oh, she's still doing. Wow.
Well, now they're here. It's so can ghosts have sex?
Yes.
Yeah. She was just like, like not everybody knows. We do a lot. So, damn it.
Can it be painful as a ghost?
I don't think it could be.
They have size
That's a
issues
good
with
question,
ghosts?
That's
though.
unfortunate.
She said it can be painful.
Not
here.
unless they wanted it to be, y'all.
Okay, good. Now I don't have to fear dying.
She says some ghosts don't know that they can. And in part, she tells them that they can. So, okay, here's something. I made a video on this like a while back, I think. Yes. No, wait, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I do not know.
Hannah.
I remember you talking about ghost sex.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
I do remember one about conveying mortals with elementals or ethereals.
Now that
Now
doesn't
I'm
mean
calling you
that
out now.
that you don't need to make another one just to clarify things.
So part of what she does, which I think is really cool, part of her service, so to speak, but besides enjoying sex, like that should be something that I note here too. It was something I picked up on very early. It's not that she's in this profession because she feels like she had to be. In part, it was one of the few things that she could do. She didn't want to be a shop girl. She wasn't interested in that. And she wanted to make money fast. And then she found out that if she could control the situation, she could actually enjoy the sex. And so she
became a hypersexual through trauma. Oh, is that what I just heard? Okay.
Wow.
Again. Hi, Molly. Pretty sure I'm you.
That's a tell. That was a big tell.
Yeah, okay. So she's saying that the first time she didn't quite know, like she had seen people having sex before because hey, Port City, people used to have just sex outside. It was very normal. She's saying that the first time she did charge a lot because she said she was a virgin. Okay.
Big money. That's a big deal.
Here's the thing. She may have been taken advantage of when she was younger.
Understood.
So she was a virgin as far as she understood the concept to be. And she figured that men wouldn't be smart enough to actually be able to tell the difference anyway. And she was young. Like she was around 14 when she got into this. So,
Ow.
Yeah. She looked a little bit older at the time, though all the same.
It's pretty traumatic.
Different times. Well, when she started working. So she.
And it wasn't uncommon at girls in that specific time frame for girls at that age that was where they started entering in. For us, we think of it in more like local society terms. We think 15, 16, but you have to also remember that historically most women started having babies at 12 and 13.
Right. And life expectancy wasn't that long. So it does make sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the thing. One thing that she keeps bringing up is that she did consider herself a woman by that point. She was able to move out and actually get her own accommodations. She had a little room that she rented in this space where there are a lot of other women. The thing is, she never allowed men back in her room. That was her space. And even though it was small and there was an occasional rat problem, it was still her space and she was very proud of it. So that was something she earned on her own. And she learned very quickly what she liked and what she didn't like, because she realized when it did start to feel good. And then she realized that some men like to be ordered around. And so she used that to her advantage. It's like when you're calling out to a guy, you can basically let them know what the night's going to be like by letting them know how you're going to treat them and how you're going to expect them talking to you. Basically, she would have been a very good dominatrix. Let's just be real. So
she's touching her face.
Oh, great.
Also, Rebecca, the chat, it literally just was like, Dom, Molly, Dom.
Dom, Molly, yeah.
That was me, yeah.
So it's funny because I'm thinking more switch Molly. Like she didn't have to do that. So again.
The same person.
Might be having a little bit of a crisis over here as we're talking to her, because this is sounding real familiar.
Either that, or what if you two were friends?
Yeah, maybe you're one of her coworkers.
I was like, what was the name? Hold on.
I just want to know.
Just call me Madam Rogue.
Do you think Molly would like to sit in on like any of whoever participates in this group pole dance classes?
Oh, that's a new trade.
I
think she has to learn that.
I'm projecting what pole dancing is. She said, why use a pole when you could use a man?
Still a pole.
I mean, yeah, he's got a pole.
You can do better tricks on the metal pole.
So I have a male body, but I want to learn how to pole dance.
Yes.
The inside is different from the outside.
I mean, I've seen men pole dance and it's amazing. It's beautiful. Absolutely.
Pelota on Instagram is very, very like so pretty. So pretty.
It is. I'm like, dang it.
This is the mission now for those of us going to the Wilmington meetup. We start taking pole dancing classes. We meet up in Wilmington and we all just show up what we've learned. Molly judges.
I don't know, maybe you should do lap dances and you all give Molly a lap dance to see which one she likes better.
Ooh.
I like that
idea. Totally give Molly
This is starting to sound like I'm going to need a ticket to Wilmington.
I support this as their partner. Yes. Totally give Molly a lap dance.
Hey, Lisa. between you and me, since I think you and I are probably the oldest in this whole group, what are we gonna do? Hey, that's a good thing.
All right, we do have maturity, we do have a wealth of knowledge.
We have a lot of extra knowledge that
You
some of the
can
young
lap
whippersnappers
dance.
don't have yet.
I guarantee you can lap dance.
The
You can
woman,
lap
there
dance
was
and pole dance.
I have photographs, people, that would just blow your ass away. Sorry.
Nice.
I don't know. I mean,
Well
I
done.
do it while my husband is playing video games. I mean, I totally flash him and ogle my goodies, and he's like,
Hey, see,
"What
I
are
do
you
that
doing?"
too.
And I'm like,
Try
"Just for
living with
fun."
2 of those. Yes, I've legit got 2 of them in my household that I can walk up and be like, "Hi, can I climb under the desk?" And they're like, "I'm sorry, I'm a little." Well, one of them is like, "I'm sorry, I'm a little busy." The other one's like, "Let me do that."
My child,
But still doesn't put down the controller.
I
Julie and Lisa
absolutely have a plethora of knowledge. I might not move so fast, but I'm still flexible.
Amen.
So you can be a mentor then and teach us youngins.
Amen.
No,
We'd be happy
Although
to.
Molly and I would probably have an interesting conversation at best.
Oh,
so
you
Julie
will.
and Lisa, last night there was a woman in like her mid 60s who had on literally the tiniest like bikini and underwear combos at the class, who brought a flogger and was spanking whoever wanted to be spanked with it. And she was amazing at doing like the upside down V, like where you put your arms and you put your legs upon somebody and you go that way and you're moving. And I'm just like, you go, ma'am. I'm gonna just sit on this chair because
I can see right now, I'm getting the evil eye from my madam and my sister right now. Like, no. I don't want a specific ghost to start buffering and trauma at this point.
Yeah, Lisa, you know who made Rupert leave the room? It was you.
Are you taking notes here?
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa.
I have that power.
Okay.
It's
Jerry says he's taking notes on all this.
I hope she is.
No, my Jerry. No, he's taking notes.
Oh, so I invited my ghosty friend to come hang out, my friend Nora from the 1900s, and she's like, no, like she won't even, when I'm talking to her, like she won't talk to me if I'm not clothed. She's like, you are indecent. I'm like, girl, we got the same bits. It's fine, but she won't talk to me until I put clothes on.
Opposite problem.
I don't know if anybody has seen him, but Kaylin is like
from
right
what I've
here.
read in transition and in historical documents, that women of the 1900s, give or take 10 years, would be absolutely open to how their family sexuality is, whether they're content in the bedroom, if they're happy with their home life. This prudish Victorian mindset is, I don't know, it's a false myth, actually.
Which makes sense. Which makes sense, giving her like how she lived life. But it's just funny that she does that with me. Like I'm getting dressed, like putting underwear on, and she's like, "I don't want to talk to you because you're indecent." Okay.
Whereas Molly's
Kaylin
the
is
opposite.
loving this conversation right
That makes no sense.
That was Abigail.
What, Rebecca?
What did Molly say?
Molly's the opposite. She came in after I took a shower. Oh, are you gonna hang out with her? Okay.
But I definitely understand that when
Oh
we
my
go
God, my
to
dad wrote a
the
porno
room,
is so great.
we definitely, yeah. I think we really have to kill the myth and the stigma that lies with human sexuality and what is permittable. As long as it's consensual and we're adults about it, it should be fine.
Amen.
So
agree.
And
whether
once we're there, then we can talk about the
vanilla
stigma
or not.
surrounding STDs and all kinds of other fun stuff that needs to just fuck right off. So, oh, that's actually another question I did have for Molly in regards to sexual health. We talked about, you know, the things they could do to prevent pregnancy, but things like, you know, reducing herpes outbreaks or, you know, all the other ones that are actually like curable. How are they handling those in her time?
Okay. So first, I want to finish just real quick what she does in the afterlife to actually assist spirits. So she actually uses sex as a way to assist spirits to understand that they can be in the present. So really this concept of like moving spirits on or whatever, it's obviously a choice they have to make on their own. And sometimes they're unable to make it because they're wrapped up in a memory, or they're wrapped up in what was, or they get confused at the time or something like that. So for her, allowing guys in particular, because for most part she works with guys, and guys are always willing to pay. Women don't always have to pay. That's all right. Okay. Anyway.
Kind of like a barter system.
Yeah. What you do with friends. That's how she described it. When you don't have toys, you got friends. That's that.
Beautiful quote.
I just don't have good friends, apparently.
That's a new quote.
When you don't have toys, you got friends.
I need a t-shirt that says that. I will wear
because
it.
you don't have terrible friends. I have long distance friends.
Again with that on their t-shirt.
So yeah, one of the things that she does to assist in allowing spirits to know that they're here and in the present and they have choice is to ask them if they want particular things. And that also allows them to be in the present, to ask themselves, like, do I want a hand job? Do I want to have sex? How much money do I have? What year is it? Wait, what year is it? So she assists in allowing them to understand that they're in the present, and that she's not the one to tell them things like, hey, you are here now. You can go do whatever you want now. She's more like, bring them in the present, and then they have to figure it out from there. But they have a good time. So
okay.
I feel like that's better than what most mediums do, right? Or paranormal investigators when they walk in a room and they're like, you're dead. How did you die? Like, that's maybe
Which
less.
is the rudest question of all time. I mean, and like
Super jarring.
Well, and that's what I've been telling people that too. I was like, that's really rude, because what if it was traumatic? But I've been doing things like, what's your favorite color? Is it blue? It's like just random shit like that. I'm like, and it throws them off guard. They're like, excuse me? I'm like, you heard me. What's your favorite color? And like, oh, blue? I'm like, okay, cool. Nice knowing you.
That's more innocent. I'm like, after that comment, I just picture paranormal investigator shows going, we're here. Do you need a hand job? Like, I don't know why, but my mind went right there. I'm like, well, that's a whole new show that I don't know where that's going to go.
Yes, do it.
100%
No, I'm not volunteering.
You need to volunteer. You came up with the idea. It'd be great.
Like, all right,
this whole scenario into the welcome wagon.
Also, how many of us are willing to give a ghost a hand job?
I think what we need to do is we need to get Zach Bagans on this so he can actually utilize the fact that he's muscly and the fact that his investigator skills are not the best.
He's such a tool, but I'd make out with him. Just saying.
I want to see him go over and ask that question that Autumn just did.
Rebecca, how long are you going to make us take the sip? You better remove those hands.
So Zach Bagans needs to come on and ask,
drinking.
and ask,
drinking.
You know, on the future shows, he needs to go on his shows and ask if any of the ghosts need a hand job. I like what Autumn came up with, so we need,
yeah.
Recommend that.
You know what, Rebecca?
Maybe we should do it. You know, all of us together, some kind of huge.
I'm not stealing your bit, Molly. I'm not stealing that idea.
We could.
It's a little bit nicer, I guess, than you're dead. Like, it's a little bit nicer. It's given receipt. Oh god.
Yeah, it's like, oh hi, welcome to the spirit world.
Rebecca's on the floor.
Hey, it's Rebecca crying. Coming out of her eyes.
Welcome to your life.
Rebecca, you okay?
Wait, is there a barter system? It's like, welcome to the spirit world. If you would like to have a hand job, please touch the EMF detector. If you would like to have a blow job, please.
Rebecca, are those tears? Are those tears?
My volunteers tribute. Is she crying?
I think we all have to finish our
crying.
She's crying.
Y'all finish your drink.
Oh god.
Just opened one. I am not finishing.
I also just poured a new one.
Also, Rebecca, I don't know if you're paying
Rebecca,
attention to the chat.
There she is. Okay. Hi, honey. How are you?
I say, if Rebecca dies on the call, do we have people that can communicate in order to keep this going?
I'm sure we do.
I mean, at this point, Amber, you're pretty much like in a past life, besties with Molly. Like you're probably coworkers. You'd be our best bet.
I mean, Rebecca, is she getting a feed off me at all? Like, is she going, no, I recognize that one? Like, it would not surprise me. It really wouldn't.
Okay. Looks like she's gonna talk, everyone. She might be alive.
And breathe.
She's still crying, you guys. So you better.
Okay, no drink.
I believe in you.
Oh, okay. The tears haven't fallen, just my eyes have gotten wet. So, though there have been many hands on my face. Thank you. So anyway, one the comment on giving ghost hand shots. Rupert walked in for a second and said, "You will not," and then he went.
Oh, honey, send him my way. We'll have a talk.
He has immaculate timing.
Oh no. Sir, we do not need your permission.
Mama
I am so sorry.
Mama needs to talk to him.
I want to be present for that talk.
Good job, Autumn. It's all Autumn's fault. She's the one who brought it up.
I am sweating in embarrassment right now.
That was awesome. Don't be embarrassed.
That was fantastic.
He also
No,
said,
I legit need a
not.
TikTok with that sound. Like, that needs to be a thing before the end of the day. I need a TikTok with that sound. Could you imagine Death and her mortal companion doing that sound?
Oh, he's mortified. He's absolutely mortified.
He's not having that conversation with you, Lisa. He's not.
Damn it.
Yeah, he straight up was like, no. And
he walked out.
So
my guy's rolling his eyes
Rupert
at
needs to
all of
lighten
us.
up a
He's
bit.
like, oh God. Fine.
Yeah, Caitlin says that Rupert needs to lighten up a little bit.
Yeah, Jeffrey's a little
concerned.
But not with his compulsive tendencies and his other issues we need to address, but it will have to be done slowly and methodically at that. But,
I mean, are we talking about the conversation or something else? 'Cause
Thank you.
Conversation in as a whole, because these
I
are
am
things
not
that you
held accountable because Rebecca's made me drain a whole bottle of wine. So
I have had 1.5 of these milkshakes that has like 4 shots of rum chata liqueur.
That looks absolutely wonderful, by the way,
get
Gabby.
lit, Gabby. Get lit.
It's delicious, by the way. So if you ever want the recipe, it's real easy. You just make a strawberry milkshake and add rum chata limon liqueur and hope for the best.
Awesome. I have to shout out to all you that are on the web right now, on the Zoom, so to speak. If I haven't said so, I'm not one to engage quite often, but I love you all. And no, that's not the alcohol.
Aw,
So
I love you too, Lisa.
I don't
We love
know.
you too.
Actually, I think it may be the alcohol, but all good. And yes, thank you, Kat. You have the floor, Becky.
I'm not a Becky. That's
Sorry, dear. All right, Rebecca, I apologize.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what does Molly think about the conversation we've just had? We've heard Rupert's take.
So she thinks we are very silly people because this is the sort of conversation she would have anyway after a long night. Damn it. So this is
Not an alcohol moment. I haven't gone
apparently
again.
this is very normal for her. So similarly to how some men would go to a pub or something like that, and then they would either wind up with a woman or they would go home and like have these conversations. She's saying that with her friends, she's like, some of them were friends, some of them were not. So some of them were like drinking buddies. Damn it. So I nearly inhaled that. That would have been very bad. I told Rupert I wouldn't die today. So anyway, she's saying that this is normal conversation for her. But we're apparently pretty low rated comparatively, because pretty much what they would do at the end of the night, and sometimes the end of the night, was they would be drinking and they would watch the sun come up, and that's what they would do. And she's saying that they would straight up talk about the crazy things that the men would okay.
Say it.
Say it.
it
We
out,
want to know.
Rebecca. We don't use filters here.
Drew, we already talked about sex toys. There's nothing that's going to stop us now.
I just want to see how red her face gets before she can actually spit it out.
So she's saying the men that were the funniest to them were the men that required them to speak to them. So she's giving me a very specific image of if a man is riding a woman, whether that be face to face or to the back, how the man would tell her things like, tell me I'm big, or tell me I'm the biggest you ever had, or tell me I'm the best you ever got, or
So dirty talk.
yeah,
Ego stroking.
But reassuring dirty talk.
Ego stroking.
She said, yes, she said that sometimes she would say it naturally, like, oh, that's good, or that's a really, that's a good angle, or something like that. Because once again, she also wanted to control her own pleasure and have a good time with it. Though it's the funny things that men would say that at the end of the night, all of them would get together. Okay, so she's referring to it apparently a few times where basically men who were small wanted to be told that they were very large, or no, a lot of men wanted to be told that they were very large. Apparently these things just go through history. Men always want to be very large, apparently, from what she's saying, generically speaking, of course. So yeah, that was another thing. She just found it really funny how men always wanted to be told how big they were. And if she actually believed that they were big, she would just tell them. She would just say, oh, and what was that? Yeah, a cork stopper. Yeah, that's, oh, don't we have a cork stopper here? Just very like, or she would take a moment. She'd be like, oh, look at that. And she would just stare slowly, and she'd be like, all right, like it feels funny me doing it. So
Rebecca, no, we're gonna have a session with me, you, and Molly, because I legitimately did that same thing this morning with my new partner. I'm not kidding. He walked into the room after a shower, and I turned to him and I went, would you look at that? That is
Amber, you need
all drink up because she is legit face palming right now.
Are we talking about hanging a towel?
I'm talking he dropped the towel and it didn't fall. Yeah. Yeah. And it stuck out by his belly button.
I think Rebecca just spit out her drink. No, it's still in there. Okay.
Drink.
But she just live, Amber.
But no, like legit, like I'm closing my eyes and I swear to God, I could see myself in Molly's time doing the exact same thing, an older Victorian type style room where I'm just like, well, isn't that nice?
Rebecca,
You should probably bring that to me. That's really far across the room, and I'm thinking it needs to come this way. I killed her. What'd she say, Rebecca?
Cervix.
Try touched her face.
Like
She's fallen
Rebecca, you
over.
just
Are
swallow.
we crying now?
Nope, not crying. It's because when you mentioned it, Rupert kind of stuck his head in, like, what is that? Like, an interest. So
so Rupert's got a kink.
He's covering her face.
I'm not
Yeah, definitely covered it. So I feel like we just need a list of kinks that we've discovered at this point, and for Rupert, apparently cock adoration is one of them.
I didn't say that. I didn't put out kinks. No, you can't blame me for that. I'm not drunk.
Finally got
I'm
wine.
not drunk enough.
I have a
Hey,
question.
hey, he can take that up with me. You didn't say anything.
I have a question about I don't know. I don't remember what year Molly is from, but that time period and positions, because you brought it up. I've heard that back in the day, it was more common to do it doggy style versus missionary, and missionary is more of a modern norm, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious about Molly's experience.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Sorry, I was on. So I forgot what the other question was that came before it, though I'll answer that one first. She said, so I'm projecting missionary position for one. And she said, oh no, we did that standing like up.
Okay. In Cock Alley?
Because she was, I can show you where that alley is, Lisa, when you come into town. I can show all of you who come into town. We'll just.
I know where that alley is.
We
Yeah,
want
I
a tour of
that
Cock
by
Alley,
my
okay?
guide.
Yes,
Please, please.
yes, we want to see.
Okay, I will take you to all the alleys. We have, they're called Paradise Alley here.
We'll be there with our cameras.
Yes.
I just imagine a whole bunch of us just surrounding Rebecca, and Rebecca just going to this like indescript alley going, here it is, Cog Alley, and we're all going, oh.
Like if it's an archaeological dig and we're taking photos everywhere.
It's a holy site.
So do yourself a favor, Amber, Gabby, bring a blue light.
I don't think that's a favor. I don't think that's a favor.
Good thing.
So I have a little bit of a slightly serious question for Molly, just because it's something that had been on my mind. But I know that she's mentioned that she kept a knife on her in case, like, for protection. Did she ever have to use that on her own clients often, or like at all that she can recall? Or was that common back then for her and her coworkers to like carry a knife, or was it just her own preference?
The mood just changed.
Oh. She said sometimes a man wasn't a gentleman and he wouldn't pay. And so you had to either clip him or clip his change purse off of him. She got very good at it. She was very specific. The other thing was some men, she says two in particular, they liked to have a knife being held to them while it was happening. She says one was a police or a kind of enforcement of the law. And back then, the law enforcement was private to the companies down at the port.
I know another ghost with that same fetish.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. It's not Rupert.
Yeah.
So,
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
It's
no.
another ghost that we both know.
Yes, a mutual acquaintance ghost. So, yeah, there was that man. He was a man of color. Okay. So cool. Molly is for non-white people too. That's always great to know. So yeah, she says a black man's money is as good as a white man's money. And back then, sometimes they would pay extra. So to be treated as a white man. So basically to be treated equally. I might cry for a completely different reason. So she said that for this man in particular, she would have to take him to a place that was away from other people in order to see him, because the white customers, if they saw, they wouldn't want to be with her. So but she considered it, she considered it all. She says a cock is a cock. Doesn't matter who it's attached to. And she also said that he was nice. This man in particular, he wanted, oh my God. So this man of color who liked having a knife to his throat for fun, never to actually cut. He was specifically around to enforce code on other people of color, which made it very hard for him because those were his friends. And she recognized that because he would talk to her afterwards, and sometimes before too, about how he didn't like how he had to treat his own unfairly because of the job that she had, or the job that he had, but he said that he was paid well. It was a higher paying position. He wasn't enslaved. And it meant a lot to him to have a paid job rather than to have been in the position of being hired out. So yeah, the knife to the neck was, he had trouble feeling alive because of all that he had to do for his position. So, but he trusted her with that. And that's why they did that. And at some point he left and she didn't know why. She never saw him again.
Molly.
That is absolutely heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to Molly for that. That hit me.
Yeah, but good for her for being inclusive and not
Absolutely
prejudiced in any way, shape, or form. That's
and
in
their
wonderful.
Bravo.
Yeah,
Bravo.
absolutely. Amen.
Has she ever wanted to reach out to him?
She says no. She was worried about what happened. And back in those days, things would happen and no one would talk about it. So, okay, here I thought I was gonna cry because of something funny. So this is not at all.
That doesn't, this doesn't count.
No.
So
You're good,
Take a couple drinks if you need
I
them.
say instead that we take a drink in his honor.
I was going
Amen. Yes.
Yes.
His name was Charlie. That's what he went by.
Charlie.
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 She says that she hasn't thought of him in years. And it's not like she didn't mean to. It's just, when you bring up topics of conversation, it makes you recall things and that sort of thing. She really liked him. She liked the way that he spoke. And he was always really nice to her, and that really stood out to her. And that's why she knew the repercussions if she was found being with a man of color. But she liked him. She liked his spirit. She liked who he was here.
Well, and now his memory has lived on now through all of us and not just from her and you. So we'll remember Charlie. All of us will.
She had feelings for him?
She had feelings for him in the sense that she liked that he saw her as someone. I think at that time, this was a little bit earlier when she started out.
Like someone safe?
Someone who understood the the difficulties of society looking at you a particular way. And
they both saw each other.
yeah, like she's mentioning there were some people who still wanted her and acted like they didn't. And then he understood that in her because it was the same way for him. The whole idea of acting higher than thou or better than thou, or for whatever reason to, you know, put yourself up on a pedestal for some reason, acting just so much better. And that's how he was able to see her in a way that most men in particular did not. She didn't feel so used by him.
So he understood where she stood in society, and they were compatible emotionally and socially at the same level.
Being seen as a someone instead of something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that asking for pay didn't make you any lesser, because I think for him, and granted this is the early 1800s, so people were still enslaved at that point, for him to be able to say that he was free and that he expected pay, a lot of people looked down on him for that. And she understood that in him because she too was offering a service and she expected to be paid for it.
They were kindred spirits.
I agree.
Not for as long as she would have liked. That's what she says.
Rebecca,
Wow.
I think you need to hug that dog behind you right now.
She's sleeping, dog. Are you sleepy, dog? Yeah, she's sleepy.
Are you sleepy, dog?
Baby. Oh, my dog abandoned me.
Yeah, get your pets, everybody.
Everyone get your pets.
I'm gonna just hug the squishmallow.
Just a question. So they didn't collect money up front?
Oh, good question.
Some she demanded money up front. It was a way that you could look at a man and understand that he wouldn't want to pay you. But it wasn't, sometimes you thought something about somebody and then it wasn't true. Or you thought that a man wasn't going to be with you unless he understood that he could pay at the end, because sometimes he wouldn't want to pay as much as you said.
How did she agree upon the term of coin? I mean, did they agree upon amount before going to the alley, or how did she measure the task at hand? I mean, if it was going to be full Congress, or if it was going to be a hand job or an oral thing, how did she agree?
So she considers herself a mid-fare, at least in the past. She considered herself middle fare. Drink. So I know my rules. She said it was a coin system, 3 coins, though I'm not entirely sure what coins they were.
Silver or gold, yeah.
Gold was whole night.
Wow. Though, unfortunately, I'm sure that didn't come very often.
No. Though, when it did, they often just wanted to talk. Like, they would do other things, but they had things to say. Men always have things to say, she says. They just want to talk. But the men don't always want to hear each other talk. And the wives don't like to hear them talk. And so we hear them talk. So basically, she's a therapist. That's what we're saying here. Which, from my understanding, historically, would have been part of it, honestly.
That's also what you hear in modern day times too, is a lot of call girls and escorts a lot of men just want to talk when they don't have sex. It's the same thing nowadays.
It was.
Exactly.
I was
I
a
was gonna bring
sugar
that up.
baby for a hot minute after high school, and literally I was just being paid to sit in a fancy restaurant and be talked at and like just like being vented to for 3 hours.
A lot of strippers in the like back room will get VIP customers who don't want a lap dance or anything like that. They just want to talk.
Yep, exactly.
Interesting.
Hey,
Well,
Rebecca,
if
you
you
need
think
to
about
you need to let Molly see the movie Deuce Bigelow.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good one.
That's a great movie, and I think it's funny as hell. And I think, seeing the man whore, and the fact that he doesn't actually sleep with anybody except the one he's in love with. Because everybody wants all the women. They want to talk. They want their other things, but it's funny as hell. So if you want to show Molly a funny movie, just Deuce Bigelow would be a good one.
She's like, I like there was a question before and I don't remember what it was. STDs, right?
Yes.
So how to avoid STDs and STIs?
Nothing worse than the pox.
Okay, she had a method. So it wasn't foolproof, but it was method. And it was a great way to make the man feel that he was very wanted. So even if she hadn't agreed to go down on him, she would, so long as he wanted to be, lay him bare. Or at least remove the package. And while she was messing around with it, she's very proud of her eyes. One of them is fuzzy, but the other one's very good. So sometimes she would wink. That's really funny. Sometimes she would wink. Can you imagine her like down on a guy's package and being like, so
yeah,
it was effective. So it was in part, she would talk the man up and talk about like, oh, look at this, and so long as he was open to it. Okay, understood. But she would talk about how he looked and how excited she was. And she, quite the actress. Yeah, she would talk about all the things she was excited about, his package and that sort of thing, only for as long as he wanted it. And as she was talking about it, she was inspecting it. So you can talk about the balls and be like, oh, wow, like what a man, all this. I know that's not what you said. Anyway, she's better at words than I am, but yeah, like strong children, noted. Yeah, men like to hear about how strong their boy children will be. So all the while she can like pull up and be like, oh, wow, I can tell, like a fortune teller. Just to be like, oh, look at the man, like that kind of thing. And all the while she's like, yes, yeah, all right. And then, yes, what a man. And then,
that was a really good question.
Being like, I'm ready to take the man.
Bravo for her acting skills. Well done.
What happened if somebody didn't pass the test? Did she just be like, these children don't look as strong. I need you to leave.
That was how did she deny a client if she knew that he was infected?
Okay, so this is how she did it. Oh.
Everybody drinking. She's touching her face.
Yep.
Several times. She just.
So what she would say, if she saw like a blemish or something like that, or just something if she wasn't sure about, she would say, oh, sir, please accept my humblest apologies. I don't think I can take it. You're just so big. May I please just touch you instead? I don't believe I even know. You see, I am young. And then she would throw in like, I haven't been with somebody so large before. The men here are so small. You know how it is. I just wonder, might I touch it instead? Or
I'm going to have to send her an Oscar.
she also had something, it's a kind of cloth that she had to assist with hand jobs.
Like an 1800s pocket pussy?
Kind of.
Are we talking sheepskin? Let's say sheep bladder or sheep intestine?
No, this was cotton. It was a soft. So she would spit on it, spit into it, or she would rub it upon herself, but she had something down there that she would rub so that they would think that it was herself. Some kind of lube, but anyway. So she would do that and she'd be like, but I have this. And like she wouldn't really advertise it, though. It's like when she was doing a hand job, she would put it in her hand so that it would be softer, but it was a kind of cotton leather. That's interesting. Okay. Please let me know if this is historical. If everyone knows if this is, so it would be a kind of leather with cotton. Well, it was like leather with cotton on the inside that was sliced on the inside and then sewn up on the side, so it would feel like ridges of something soft.
Oh, all right. Yes.
1800s.
Yes, absolutely. That was a real thing. That was definitely a real thing. And it was, it assisted in the elements of ejaculation. So
1800s flashlight.
that was absolutely a real thing. And there's document, I will send that.
Please do.
1800s flashlight. Yes.
Yeah.
I just love that Lisa knows this.
Don't ask. I took a whole course. I know people. Don't
Oh
ask.
God.
So Lisa, you and Gabby should have a conversation. That's what I'm hearing right now, because yeah.
Yes. Send her a plethora of Victorian stuff, but it even goes back to, oh my God, Byzantine, Roman, and Greek.
Please share this information with
Ooh.
me. I was just gone to the bathroom for the last few minutes, so this is what I came back to. I'm like, what happened? What did I miss?
So we were talking about old ancient fleshlights, which, by the way, a lot of anthropology classes get into that.
They
A
do.
little bit explicitly.
Absolutely.
My favorite
I
thing
I will go ahead and procure this from my bestie, and then I will forward the information onto you both, Izzy and Gabby.
Post it to the group.
Yeah, post it to the group.
Hell yeah.
page.
At this point,
I feel
like Stacy said earlier, we've already talked about vibrators. It's all open at this point. It's just,
Oh my
call-
God,
call
I
in.
cannot believe how far back this goes. I mean,
But you should see the type of contraceptive things that people used to do. I mean, in Egypt, they used like crocodile dung.
No, I don't go into crocodile dung and various other forms of caps, which we're very, very familiar with now in the 21st century. But
I mean, in the 1950s, the Coca-Cola douche was popular.
And the Lysol. I'll never understand
Yes!
Lysol.
The Lysol that caused people to become infertile because they actually said, yeah, just spray it up there and you should be able to not get pregnant. It's like, yeah, but now you're infertile because you've been spraying bleach.
Oh, and the amount of miscarriages. Oh my God. Just because of it. It's like, okay, you didn't want to get pregnant then, but now you want to get pregnant now? Well, I'm sorry. You've gone ahead and done an amount. Words don't come because.
Is everyone okay? Because I'm looking at the looks on people's faces.
Obviously, you've
Yours
done
don't come because there's been a bottle of wine that you've been in your system.
I'm almost. What are we looking at? We're looking at this was 150 milliliters, so we're doing pretty good. I have probably 1/8 left in my bottle right now. So going to dinner tonight. Oh my God, you made all gone.
I mean,
But
this is my third.
I just text my husband. I'm like, can you bring me some more beer, please?
But I will forward that to those that are making inquiries, and definitely I will forward that to Gabby. I will return the platform to Rebecca and to Maggie. Sorry, Molly.
What did she call me? Who is that?
Well, I'll pull a lot of names for you here.
Okay, okay. I told her how you know Rupert, and she was just like, oh, all right.
Now, let us not bring that into the forefront right now. This is all about her today. We'll discuss that later.
She'll meet you soon enough, I know. So, okay, this is a question from Autumn. So, okay, being strong AF, I know we'll probably have to explain that, LOL. So as fuck / laugh out loud. She's like, you need to tell people when you're laughing. Yes, we do, because this is America and we need to tell people that we're laughing despite how we want to cry sometimes. So being a strong AF woman, what's her best piece of advice for us gals and everyone else that identifies as something different? So what is your best advice for all of the fine human-esque people? God, what am I on? I'm like human-esque people.
Right? I was like questioning my species right now. Am I
Non-binary,
human?
Rebecca.
What am
Non-binary.
What is it? Theys, he's, theys, or she's, he's, they.
Non-binary,
In
just
between.
leave it
Yeah,
there.
Yeah. And all spirits who
Meat
are
meat bags, flesh suits.
all of those incarnate in human form as of today.
Yes, in the corporeal.
Wow,
She's
she's
currently
like-
in the corporeal.
So, in our corporeal, I should say. Wow, she just gave me a pat. She was like, enough. So how are you not drunk? This is not fair. I even poured her own glass in on top of like having this. Oh, she says
The girl's seasoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can handle her liquor better than you can, and apparently better than the rest of us. So
way better than me.
Always have a water chaser.
She said, I had more. For all of your water drinking, I had more. I'm like, yes, that's fair. So, okay, advice. What advice do you have for all of us? Okay. Learn how to hold your weight in alcohol because you can't lose your wits. No matter what, you can't lose your wits. Otherwise, you'll get scammed. I'm paraphrasing.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Okay,
just
that's good
kind of the
advice.
girl code at this point in time. So
Amber, 3 raccoons and a trench suit. Okay. So, what other advice? Always wash between your men. Your women, maybe, but between your men, you have to wash. They.
That makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense. We all know.
I'm so concerned about the facial expressions.
They said they smell it on each other. They don't like to know when you smell like another. Drink.
I mean, she's
Drink
not
means You
wrong.
covered your face and you described so much. That's like 2 drinks.
So here you are in Cook Alley, and you're going about your business. I need to know, when do you find time to find a pitcher and a you to clean?
There's a rag. It's a
Oh
rag.
God, no. And it's never rinsed.
Well, she keeps it in a sack. It's a leather sack, and she keeps some water in it and some kind of clear alcohol. Might be the gin.
Yeah.
Might be rum. Oh God, I hope it's
Gin.
not. No, not rum. Rum has too much sugar. Okay.
it would make sense. Anything over
I
100.
don't want sugar up there. I know too many stories, and Rebecca has heard one.
Yeah. And that's why when I thought it was rum, she was like, no. I was like, okay. But it's some kind of alcohol water mixture. And she keeps it in the leather sack, and she keeps sometimes it was cotton, though she didn't prefer cotton. She preferred an actual rag. And she would leave it there. What?
I'm surprised she didn't pull up vinegar, because that in alone is a natural inhibitor.
Smell. The men didn't want to smell.
No one likes the smell.
Better vinegar, get another man.
I guess it means
she would put flowers down in there sometimes if she could afford the expense of
hopefully without thorns.
What's that?
Yes.
Hopefully without the thorns.
Without the thorns. Well, she would.
Water is expensive. Lavender is cheaper.
The whole new term to potpourri.
Not to mention, she would have to filter it.
Drink.
Yeah.
So is that what the little pocket in the panties is for hiding all those flowers?
Wow.
Okay, wait, you guys aren't hiding your favorite rock in there?
Always.
Right.
Now we know what we should be doing.
So I don't know if this is true, but I just found out that the reason why the head of a man's penis is shaped the way that it is supposedly to scoop out the remnants that other men leave behind.
This is also true in chimps.
Wow. Yeah, that goes back to.
I have a question.
Okay. I'm still grossed out by the last one.
Okay. I have a question for Molly regarding men of that time. In modern day, it is very popular for men to be circumcised. You actually, like, when you have a boy at the hospital, you have to be very damn specific if you do not want them circumcised. Like, seriously, I had to rescue my son from a renegade nurse who was like, oh, we're gonna I'm like, no, fuck that. I did not tell you that. You are not doing that to my kid. So my question is, were most of the men uncircumcised?
I can tell you right off, no, they were not. Yeah. It was not
Courtney, I'm sure Hank appreciates that.
I was not gonna put my newborn through that. No.
And let me just say too that I was not as well.
Yeah,
wow. Okay, thank you
We
for
were in
that.
agreement on that one.
Yeah. No.
I don't know.
Fuck
I don't
that.
know if Dana is on the call right now, because I know she works L&D. And I'm not sure.
Yeah, Dana's on.
Yeah.
There's Dana.
She's muted. Dana, you're muted, sweetie.
Hey, what was the question? So in terms of like the circumcisions that they tend to do like in L&D after birth, I know like a lot of time majority of people do want it happened, but if somebody does not elect to have that done, is it kind of like a lot of hospital policies that they try to convince maybe the parents about that?
Not in Texas anymore, at least, because Medicaid's stopping paying for circumcisions.
Yes,
So there's really a pull not to circumcise as much nowadays as like a couple years ago.
I have a lot of weird knowledge about this one. I do have two sons, and neither of them are cut. So the guy that started that in the US was actually Kellogg, and like, yes, the cereal Kellogg.
We hate Kellogg.
And
weird.
It was thought
boy.
it was thought that if you circumcised a child, then they wouldn't masturbate as much and they wouldn't have as high of a sex drive. And so like that's the whole reason for the push of circumcision in the US. And that's also why other countries look at us like we're really big weirdos, because it's a weird thing to do. And actually, I have a theory that the reason that Viagra is so prescribed here in the US is because men don't have the sensitivity, because the foreskin is actually an organ very, very similar to the clitoris, and it has a lot of nerve endings. And so men don't have the feeling anymore. They can't get off anymore. And so Viagra.
Interesting. Forced
Actually-
genital mutilation is like the way that we do it here, which is the weirdest thing in the world.
I actually read an article once.
I want to say it was Cheerios or
So Kellogg, like Kellogg's
No, it's
cornflake is a
Kellogg's.
thing that
Kellogg's
was
is a
created
whole-
in order to
Cornflakes.
say no to masturbation because they thought that flavorful and or spicy
Yes.
foods would cause people to want to self-pleasure and masturbate. So to put a stop to that, they created cornflakes.
Yes, that's it.
And there's a great movie about
Stupidest
that.
thing I've heard.
Where he ever got his theories behind that, God only knows. So let's go back to Rebecca and Molly. So I'm saying that a circumcised man is a very rare thing.
Yeah, she says there was once, because circumcision, I know for Judaism as a religion and a culture, it is understood that men get circumcised. It's very much in their beliefs, and it's written in the Old Testament for those of you who may or may not have a Bible sitting around, so, or a Torah sitting around for that matter. So she's saying there was once a man who was Jewish who came through and he was circumcised, though it was like, I feel like for us in America, you would see an uncircumcised penis and you would go, whoa, you know, because we so often are painted with this understanding of circumcised penis. So for her, it was the opposite, because she saw it and she was like, whoa, what? Like, she was very much like, what's
Where's its clothes, yo?
Yeah,
right.
Skin.
Okay, yeah, she actually had to ask the question. She was like, are you, what? Yeah,
Is it broken?
Yeah, and she was like, I've seen a lot. And it's something too, because this is a port city. So he was coming in, he was on his way to Charleston, and they had docked here for some reason. Okay, they had to, the ship had to relinquish some supplies, and then they were going to go to Charleston from there. She said she had never been with a Jewish person before, and he also was very chill about it. Like he explained, he was like, no, this is part of what we do. It still works the same. And yeah, she said it was kind of a learning thing. He was very helpful in the sense that he was patient with her as she had to learn how it's a bit different because this was a hand job specifically. It wasn't a full-on, he didn't want the full experience, so to speak. And she wondered if that was something religious. She had never met a Jew before. So yeah, but wow, still came the same, just took a little bit more.
So has she been with somebody who hasn't been circumcised, like actually intercourse?
No.
Okay. Has she now? And not in life? Like,
no.
Okay. I was just wondering what her preference was. So that answers that.
I have a question for Molly. Has she ever tapped into corporeal?
She's wanted to. I'm saying that, not her.
No, I mean, granted, we're cleaner, we're newer. we're bigger, AKA. But has there ever been a raise of an eyebrow and say, ooh, that's different. I'd like to have a bit of him or her.
Yeah. So this is a skit that's gonna come out eventually.
Oh yay! Another skit.
Yeah, she said one time that she follows men to the bathroom. Sorry, that was my fork. She follows men to the bathroom to see if they are as big as they talk. So she is that ghost who looks at men in the bathroom. And
she's my hero right now. Oh my god.
Voyeurism.
Where was she when I was in high school?
Right?
Hitting me
Right?
of Shania Twain's That Doesn't Impress Me Much.
Right? Oh my gosh.
But knowing that 90% of the population is now circumcised, does that stop her?
she says most of them are not as big as they talk. Also, and I remember this when she told me this, most of them, okay, back up. So I remember I explained to her, and I put this in the video, the first video, where she followed me to the bathroom to make sure I didn't get robbed.
That was very sweet of her, by the way.
Yeah, now she follows me to the bathroom to bother Rupert, because Rupert obviously doesn't follow me to the bathroom. So she follows me to the bathroom because she's like, what? Girls follow, girls make sure don't get robbed. So
true. Valid point. That's why we go to the bathroom and gaggles together.
To not get robbed. Right.
Exactly.
Well, that and talk about the men around the bar.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
Protection. Yeah. There's reasons. Yes. We get it.
So yeah, she will follow him into the bathroom. But she said recently, she was like, wait, it was a few months ago. She said, okay, so I'm washing my hands after using the bathroom, right? Because that's what you should do, right? And she was like, that's not normal. And I was like, yes, the fuck it is. Sorry, I cursed. I was like, this is what you should be doing. And she says, the men that I follow in here don't.
Oh, that's gross.
Ew. Yuck. Oh, God, men are gross.
You should be.
COVID's never going away.
I know.
Which
was you never know where your buddy has been.
Right. This was confirmed by the staff. Like I came out, and at one point, the soap dispenser hadn't been renewed or whatever since the night before. And I was there, this was like 4 hours after the shop had opened. And I was like, hey, just so you know, the soap dispenser's out. I'll just use hand sanitizer because they had one by the door at that point. And the barista was like, oh, that's really disgusting. I was like, what do you mean? She says, yeah, nobody said anything about that this morning. And they're supposed to put a new pack in during the evening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this was confirmed to me from the baristas as well as Molly. But yeah, Molly was just like, the men don't do that. Or not all the men, but like.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, mine washes his hands, but I did just clean the toilet, and we have arguments about that too. He's like, well, you can't control how the stream goes first thing in the morning. I'm like, then sit the fuck down. Like, it's not hard. I do it all the time.
Say that again.
Then sit the fuck down.
no,
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Does he do it? No, he's just as hard-headed as I am, but it is what it is.
We're teaching our 6-year-old
It
to
only
control
takes
the
5
stream, like,
seconds.
Good for you.
Yeah.
If he
It's
needs
important.
advice, tell him to reach out.
My boys are not allowed to pee standing up in my house. I'm like, you can do that at school, but I clean that floor. You don't.
Right. And when he was remodeling our bathroom, like side story real quick, when he was remodeling our bathroom, like I stopped cleaning our master bathroom because, he sleeps also, sorry, honey, he sleeps naked. And so he gets up and pees in the middle of the night, and there's pee on the wall, there's pee on the floor. I'm like, what do you do? Just like whip it around or something? Like, I don't know. Like, why is it? So after like 6 months, he finally fixed the light in there that I haven't been using. And all of a sudden the bathroom's clean. And I go, oh, did you find the yellow brick road that you made from the toilet to our bedroom?
You're my favorite human.
I'm a dick. I'm sorry. Like I
don't think you're a dick
no,
for calling out piss
You're
poor
not.
behavior
Stacey,
and
you're a
pun
treasure.
intended.
I
You're a
mean, this
national
is
treasure.
this is how we fight all the time. Just like when I was getting ready to, before getting on the call, I was taking a shower, and he goes, "So I'm hungry. Do you want some food?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go get me some food." He goes, "Oh, you don't want to go?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm naked and the shower's running. What do you think I'm gonna do? You want me to go to the?" Well, I don't know. I'm like, "Oh, I just walk around naked? Like, what's wrong with you, bro?"
I have a suggestion for everybody who has a person with a penis. Have them clean the toilet. Have them clean the toilet, because
Mine does.
Okay, but I'm a neat freak and he's not gonna do it right. So it's just like a fight that's not even worth having.
I am obsessed with clean toilets.
stepdad
Clean toilets
refuses
should
to
just
touch
be
any
like the
cleaning
standard,
supply.
not the. Mm-mm.
I
Sorry.
mean, it is gross, like especially like, and I made sure like just I didn't expect like, okay, I knew I was gonna be drinking, but I didn't expect like to get to the point where I was gonna vomit. But I made sure all my toilets were clean because it's super gross to see pee around the blah. And I'm like, you know what? You can puke in it. I don't want it.
I have a
this is a safe place.
The only reason my kids don't clean their toilet is because they're 7 and 5. Once they get older, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old.
Give them a toilet brush.
around
Give them a toilet
after
brush
he's
and start
done.
them early. And then, you know, when they get older, they can clean around the outside. But see, you're treating your kids right, though. They're not going to pee on the side of the, you know, like you have the bowl and then like it goes down and where the little cup things are at the bottom, like fills up with pee, or you look at it right angle and you see all the pee drip down. It isn't me. I'm not doing it.
On one.
I have to be perfectly honest. In retrospect, when men are learning to urinate, my mother-in-law informed me that in order for them to make sure that they were hitting the site, they would put bullseye targets in the toilet.
Cheerios,
Cheerios.
or Fruit Loops.
Absolutely.
I thought about it. I mean,
They-
I
they
still get
work.
after him for putting his damn Q-tips in the toilet. I'm like, do you want to clog? Like,
Okay, but even if they hit the Cheerio, they
It splashes back.
They still splash, or like it dribbles. Or I've also taught my sons to wipe, so their future partners are very welcome.
Well, okay.
Amber.
Okay,
Very
so
nice.
since I've been drinking a whole lot and my husband's not up here to actually hear because he's like downstairs playing video games, but like he's like sometimes when he goes to the bathroom, like he comes out and I'm like, honey, you know, you got a wet spot there. It looks like you peed your pants and you need to shake it a little bit more. And he's like, if you shake it too much, you're playing with yourself. I'm like, then
No,
play
you're
with
playing with
yourself.
yourself.
I don't want it. It looks like you peed your pants.
There's also nothing wrong with playing with yourself. He can
It's
shake it a
true.
little bit.
It's true.
But
We've
also-
just had this conversation. Do we need to break out our toys again?
Then also
I
let's
have-
like the tiniest bit of toilet paper, just wipe it off really quick.
Right? And when
Throw
I said
it
that,
in the-
he's like, men don't do that. I'm like, excuse me? He goes, yeah,
Okay,
men don't do
dirty
that. I'm
men
like,
don't do that.
So
yeah.
in my family, we have this saying: if you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seedy.
Thank you.
I mean, I put
Okay,
a sign up,
that's what
but
we say.
yes. But I mean, to be fair though, the man is clean in the fact that when he's like, oh, it's go time, that boy jumps in the shower and he is clean from top to bottom on the inside. Of like, all right, well, if you're just gonna be clean while you're with me, cool beans.
Rebecca, did you just look at Jay?
Jay has left the room. I think we should all drink for Jay leaving the room. He's playing a game right now. He's very much like, look, all of you drunk women. Jay, you are a drunk woman now.
I'm sorry, Rebecca. Can I just comment real quick on the fact that and point out the fact that Abigail's over here being like assaulted by her boa? Does anybody
Look.
notice that?
When I got Suzuki, I love her tail so much. And so when I got her, I knew her tail. If I ever had like children in my house, I don't want kids, but I expect at some point children will be in my house. I desensitized her to anybody messing with her tail. Like she'll let me do anything I want and not care. But by doing that, I would like mess with her tail and like put it on my face. a lot just like this because it feels nice, and now she just does it on her own whenever
That's
she wants
awesome.
my attention.
I'm really jealous because I would love to have that. Love it. My cats don't even love on me. They only love on me when they want food, and that's because they're 4 minutes late for me feeding them.
She only started being very lovey-dovey after I got her fixed because she had a lot of trust issues. And
look at that tail. It's just so big.
Is it
it's like
not
a fox tail.
luxurious?
Big, huge Abigail bottle brush.
That's why whenever he's talking, I'm sitting here looking at Abigail going, what the hell? I figured it was
She's a
cat,
very
but it's like, holy
luxurious
crap.
cat.
It is a gorgeous Oreo cat.
I think she's part ragdoll.
Oh.
So what
I don't know.
does,
She was a stray. I found her in my buddy's mechanic's garage.
Oh,
adorable.
What does Molly have to think about our conversation now that we've kind of like, we kind of go all over the board? We usually do. I mean, this is like par for the course for us, but this is her first experience with all of us together.
If anybody's ever not been in the call except for today, like this is your first Zoom call, this is usually what it
Welcome.
turns into. After at least an hour and a half.
Usually at the end of the Zoom call, we start talking about sex stuff. And we just decided, what was it? The last Zoom call, I'm like, you know what? We need to have Molly here. And everyone was like, yes.
And Rebecca had already left. So we're like,
you're welcome.
Rebecca, we need to do a Zoom call with Molly. Like, we want to be friends with Molly. Bring her on.
So Molly wants to know, because she said this a little while back, God, I'm so not sober. Okay, anyway.
Welcome to the club, girl.
Okay, so what was it I said at the event? I was like, hey, I'm gonna do the thing that I tell people not to do, which is get drunk and channel spirits.
How's it going for you, dear?
I'm so good.
You know what's funny? Okay, side note. So we all know, some of you do know, but like Rebecca knows that my spirit guide is not a huge fan of Rebecca for whatever reason, and he can suck it. He likes you right now. He thinks you're fun.
Well, he respects her for doing what she's doing. Let's put it that way.
I'm loving drunk Rebecca. This is fantastic.
He's a little bit of a dick. He doesn't like that I use that term, but he can be a dick.
What did Molly want to know?
I have a similar guide. Like my matriarch is also just like, I don't understand why you went to her, but like I and you told me that in a reading.
I can tell you right now, I have 2 women, my guide, looking at me with contempt. And I don't. One of them is like, do what you need to do. The other one is like, I'm judging.
Rebecca, if it makes you feel better, my guide said she liked you.
Yay! Well, I just felt bad because it was like prior up to us doing like, my one-on-one with Rebecca and not fangirling over her because I wrote that in all caps on my freaking book. Sorry, Rebecca. Now it's out. So, but he's like, I'm like, be nice to her. And he wasn't. He made her work for it. And he's like, oh, Rebecca, the ghost guide wants to talk to me. Okay. And his problem with her was that he said, what'd he say? She can do this herself. She doesn't need you. I'm like,
whoa,
why do you need to be a dick, dude?
Yeah, I've had mine say similar things. Like, she's got like a Caribbean accent. She's like, gal, you can do this yourself. Why would you pay someone for that? And I'm like, because I need the reassurance, okay?
Right? You don't need the validation.
Yeah.
You can do it yourself.
Yeah, that's what I got told.
I had a similar experience where my guide was like, I don't understand what you're doing, why you're doing this, but like it was orchestrated by another guide of mine because like they really like Rebecca. They really like you, Rebecca.
Oh, cute.
I'm honored.
And they're one of the more talkative ones anyway. They're just shouting in my ear right now, Jesus Christ, please.
So Gabby, Kaylin says if you learn to astral project, he will totally get you there.
Oh wow,
What was-
Sion.
Wait, what was that?
Wait, Rupert says only if you're willing to listen to all of the bullshit that Kaylin tells you. That's what he just said.
Wow. I could, because for some reason like Courtney sounds like quieter, so I was like, wait, what was that?
And okay, hold on. I'm gonna refrain this.
Kaylin is full of bullshit.
You don't need to refrain anything.
Okay,
Let it out. Full blast.
I'm just gonna say the last time that I met with Courtney for something that was not this, like, and it was actually like me sober or some shit. Rupert took Kaylin out on a walk around the neighborhood for like an hour. And the whole time, like Rupert eventually comes back and Kaylin comes back and Kaylin's like, okay. And then he like goes back to you, right? And Rupert was just like, I need a drink. And I was like, okay. So he had some tea that was gifted to us. It's Welsh tea. And he was just like, that man talked at me for an hour. And Rupert, bless him, he's an introvert. So like, he was there to help because he was like, I know I can talk to this man for an hour. And it was just Kaylin talking for like for this whole hour.
The teacup shaking.
Oh, I can see him buffering at this point.
But Courtney, just message me what you said and then I will respond because it's a little harder to hear what you said.
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm a little bit jealous of what message you got. That's
I mean, well, according to Courtney, I have like some fae that have pretty much been like, we'll bless you with our presence because of your ancestor connection. Because apparently my great grandfather blowing up the family silver mine meant that they got silver back. So I'm like, cool.
No, they got some peace and quiet back. They didn't have any like silly humans banging in their home. So
maybe they did.
Maybe.
I mean, we as humans sometimes are like, that is a big dirty hole. I'm gonna bang in there. I mean, am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I mean, like, we went to the beach and there was like this whole thing, and my husband called it the boner hole. We didn't do anything in there. He goes, teenagers go in there and bone. I'm like, oh, you are so mature. I'm glad we're married.
The amount of people in high school that would have sex in the bathrooms farther off in the field, like by the baseball field, I'm like, why would you do it in a bathroom? Like, don't you have a bed somewhere?
Here's the thing.
A storage closet somewhere?
But I guess this is a better question for you, Gabby, or maybe any of you. Like, girls have this romanticized thing of what their first time's going to be like, and men are like, instantaneous, whatever's going to get me there, dude. Like, we can be in the bleachers and it's fine.
That's what
I was realistic. Like. My thing, because my friends are always joking. It's like, well, you guys just have sex in the car. I'm like, I'm 5'7". My boyfriend is 6'2".
Same.
Neither of our cars are big enough for that kind of thing.
Dude, and my husband has some hips. It's like, like I'm tall, but damn, like in that position is way too long. I'm like, we stop. Sorry guys, I drank too much. Stop in the middle, and I'm just like, he's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I gotta stretch my legs out. My hips hurt so bad.
That was my issue in lap dancing class yesterday. I'm like, I have too much leg. I'm gonna hit the person behind me trying to do that move. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Molly. Maybe. Unless you're enjoying the conversation. It's all good. My bad.
I feel like she's very like,
all right.
Rebecca's the one that's like just curled up in the corner, like, why is this my life?
I was gonna say I can't blame it on the men always though for finding, well, for lack of a better word, just holes in nature. When I was out camping last week, I was talking to my family and I'm like, out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, why do I feel like I see a penis? And so I look, and I kid you not, there was this tree with like a schlong just hanging there. No other like branches anywhere near it. And I look up and I'm like, are you guys seeing this? And my parents are like, oh yeah, we noticed that earlier. I'm like, that tree literally, man.
Oh my gosh, send me the coordinates. I live near you. I need to know.
You're gonna need a ladder. Wow. I'll just say that.
I had to explain to one of my coworker who's like 60 years old. She got a phone call because we get awesome, amazing, disgusting phone calls from people at the library. I had some guy jack off to me on the phone. Really gross.
Oh my God.
But anyways, I'll post it in the group, story time for a different time. But anyways, she was asking me, she's like, what's a glory hole? And I was like, oh my God. She goes, you know what that is? I said, yeah. She goes, well, what is it? I'm like, oh, okay.
Casey, did you happen to send that story perhaps to a podcast called My Favorite Murder? Because there was a story very similar.
I love My Favorite Murder. No, but side note adjacent, also because I've been drinking, I am being interviewed in 2 podcasts in September.
Wow. Send us the links. Send us the links.
It's all about my library being spooky and haunted, and I'm not gonna, I mean this nicely, I'm not gonna out myself as a medium because I'm not ready for that yet. But
do it.
I mean, if I drink enough, I might be like, look, here's the thing. The medium is me. It was me. Totally me.
So I don't know if everybody's okay with this, but I have a quick question because I am right now because I didn't have lunch. But I'm literally having to explain to my boyfriend right now because he does not believe in mediums and he thinks that anybody who pretends that they're a medium is like a con artist taking advantage of grieving people sort of mentality. So he's almost framing it like a
Yes,
deal
Rebecca.
breaker that if we end up, if I end up pursuing going forward being a medium, that might be a deal breaker for us. So I'm like,
but has he been put in a situation where like supernatural stuff has happened? Because my husband does that, right? And then like as soon as the door pushes open by itself, he goes, either that's a ghost or it's a cat. I'm like, it's the cat. But I mean, it's not the first time.
Evidence, he won't be able to deny it. It's
I mean,
it's something that's got to come to his own terms and his own time with it. Like that's the way it was with my husband. Like he thought, like I tried to warn him from the beginning, fucking life with me is weird. Please understand.
So my ex-husband was like Spooktastic's husband, where he just did not. You're giving me an X, Rebecca. Did I say something wrong?
Sorry, I know things.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Huh? Former husband?
She slurs, sorry, I know things. Nah. That's all I'm gonna say. That man go fucking die.
I see.
Hate him.
I got you. That's well.
She knows this. She's
as far as the spiritual
I'm
side
with you,
of
Rebecca.
things, my ex-husband also was like a ghost repeller. Like I had experiences my whole life of all kinds of things, and the minute I was with that man, everything stopped. It was the most bizarre quiet I have ever experienced. And so he didn't really believe in any of this stuff, and honestly kind of had reason not to, because he had no experiences and nothing would happen around him, even if I attempted to like help bring that level of shield down, because it wasn't even a conscious or like it wasn't anything he was particularly doing. It was just they were absolutely out of his realm.
That kind of sounds like a pre-life plan to where he wouldn't have access to that set of information, rather than, that would just be something that he would want to experience throughout this life. And go ahead, Rebecca.
I agree, except for I'm not gonna, because that's Kat's tell, but damn it. Sometimes.
Do we drink when you swear now? Is that the new rule?
Yes.
I switched over to water. I'm sorry. I'm going to Italian food after this. I need I'm not driving, but still I need to be able to order food I actually like.
I have not yet figured out how I'm having dinner yet. I didn't think that far ahead.
Order. That's the premonition for you.
That's I'm a cheapskate. I won't order delivery. I'll probably make like instant risotto.
You know what?
Oh, that's good.
Mac and cheese.
But so what was it, Rebecca, that you were?
Oh, okay. So I'll let Kat tell the story if she wants to, because that's her story to tell. All I'm saying is sometimes hypothetically, sometimes people build up shields for themselves where and that's the thing, it's powerful what you tell yourself, because if you tell yourself you're powerful, you are. And why do I want to fucking cry? I'm just like, you are powerful. So anyway, so what I'm saying is some people, I'm not saying specific people, but some people can create shields for themselves where they tell themselves that something isn't real, which I agree with you. Some people, it's not their path in life to believe in all of this stuff. And that's why on my platform, you won't find me being like, ghosts are real and you need to believe in me. Like that's not what I need to do.
Which is something we appreciate, by the way.
For sure. I'm glad you appreciate it, because that's the thing. I truly believe that everybody is in their own path of what they want to understand in this life. Though I'm saying maybe sometimes hypothetically, a ghost comes around and they just know how to, I don't know, fucking remove particular energies of shielding. And they do that, and people open up sometimes and they have experiences and shit. So that's true. Fuck, I'm drunk. God fucking shit.
Finish a bottle.
I haven't been this drunk in a really long time.
It's highly amusing. I am absolutely
so has Rupert seen you this drunk before?
No.
I think you should.
That just makes it better.
I think you should invite him in and let him see the train wreck that we know and love.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, please.
Rupert.
Somebody bring a bunch of
Rupert.
kittens over to Rebecca so then she can hang on to a bunch of kittens and just be like, I can't protect them. There's too many of them.
Okay. A question for Molly. What was her favorite sex position?
Yes.
She's a very limber person. So there was usually, most men were not creative enough, and she felt, fuck, I'm so drunk. God, shit. So / the first time Kat met me, she was like, wow, you curse a lot. And I was like, I know, right? Like, anyway,
same.
Fuck.
My favorite part. It's the best part of life is cursing.
I mean, it's true. And you have a higher pain tolerance if you curse, by the way.
Hey,
That's facts.
This is
It's
true.
nicer
Doctor
if you
once
curse.
told me that. I walked around on a torn ACL for 3 years, and the doctor was like, wow, didn't that hurt you? And I said, yes, it did.
Yes, it fucking did.
I had no time.
You damn Skippy.
Anyway, it was a long time ago. I like pay attention to my body and shit now. It's, fuck. So,
Same.
Same. Through it. So, Molly says there's a position where it's like if she's straight,
okay,
it's a wall. She
Okay.
prefers it when she's standing because she likes it. In dance, is called a releve, but it's when you are on the balls of your feet, and it's like she has one foot down and one leg up, and she rests the leg on the other. She said that was good, and it made the men feel like she was like
Precipitate
or something. Like she was dirty, but not dirty, but like she knew things, but not too many things. / I wanted to ask you, because she asked us a little while ago, she was like, why do these people, why? Like, why do these people, I love how you describe it. So she was, fuck, I'm gonna fucking speak. Okay, I'm speaking now. So, she wanted to know why you all care about her. Thank you for looking me. But like, why would you care about her story? Why would you care about who she is? She's very much like, okay, these mostly women got together. Like, what is
Okay, so I guess the best answer would probably be the fact that you gave her a voice, for one, and we found her interesting as a person, and would like to know more about her that way.
Just like we would see any other corporeal person, we find interest in her and would want to get to know her like we would anyone in the physical.
My counter question
Personally-
to Molly is, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be Molly. Like,
Right?
I just want to be Molly.
Yeah,
I
she
could
gives
just
warm, safe vibes. That's all I get. Warm, safe vibes from Molly. Always.
Yeah,
Always
always.
looking out.
So, like,
I like that.
I know.
She as a human being, as whether it is in the past or the present, she has value, and she should be recognized for what she contributed, whether it be in the past or in the future. She has a voice, and she should be heard.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
then
So everyone's story is worth telling and worth being heard.
Mhm.
And especially one as interesting as hers.
And how often do
So-
we get the opportunity to get like a live feedback of who she is as a person from things that we normally talk about? And so, you know, we thought of her when after our last Zoom call meeting about we were talking about, and we're like, oh my gosh, Molly should be a part of this. And so we very much wanted to include her on our girl time, people time, because I know we have both sexes here. So our people time together and
all sexes.
Yeah, all the sexes. And about all the sex. So, you know,
all the sex.
Personally, I find so much interest in her because if I was somebody to have like a normal conversation with her, you know, living or dead person, I would consider her like a friend, just with the interest that she has, with the humor that she has, the bluntness that she has. It would be somebody I would love to be around and to get to know more, and honestly like invite out to lunch every once in a while. Just be like, well, tell me what's been new with you, because like you live like your life and my life are completely different, but in the best way, and I just want to hear how you're doing and any stories you might want to tell me and vice versa. So I always joke, I'm just like, can I be friends with Molly? Which is what I know a lot of us are like, can we be friends with Molly? But I mean, that's just with anybody.
I
so
like
Molly
the live aspect of it. Yeah.
Molly
And I
represents a lot of, I think, what we want to be, because, and you know, again, going outside
The
of
freedom.
our group, yeah, nobody talks about this stuff. It's all taboo. Well, we don't do that
exactly.
fucking bullshit. We like to talk openly about it, and we love the fact that Molly is
Clearly.
right there with us. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Stacey. Clearly, we really are desperate to talk about this shit.
So what does Molly think about drunk Rebecca?
The guys got big.
Tell it like it is. Girl.
Oh dear.
Is this a why have toys we have friends situation going on here?
Not yet.
So I
Not yet.
she's heard the name before, and she was like, "Is that what the crazy people talk about when they come to town?" So anyway, and I also projected imagery, and she was like, "What?" Anyway, so what was I saying? Thank you. So she finds it interesting that women, and I say women with an X, still feel restrained by who they are, even though it's been 200 years really since she's been alive. That was my dog coughing. She says that she had thought at one point that women with an X would feel more like themselves and more just she mentions, okay, she's saying it's good for people to be able to have communities where they can speak to one another. It's similar to the when she would get together with her girls, you know, around dawn and just talk about shit. She's saying that everybody should have that because it's so, basically it's a way to feel seen and
therapeutic.
Yeah. Like something she's noticed in the coffee shop is that some people still feel restrained for some reason on telling their truth. And she would wish that by now more people might feel open to talking to one another when in trusted circles. So Yeah, he understands that not every circle is something that you want to open up and be like, hey, these are my dildos.
I mean, like we did, you know,
basically.
Right from the beginning, we did.
Like on that level at this point.
Yeah.
Spooky Fam hit a whole different level in our relationship. Good job, guys.
And not to mention also the fact, look at our generational gap too. This is amazing to me.
It is.
I mean, we've got like so many different generations going on through this group, and we all just talk openly about the, you know, all this shit, and it's great. It is.
And not only that, like, I mean, like the fact that we've all like come together. I mean, I know that we're all open and we're loving with each other, but I know like some of us have like connections. Like I know I reached out to Autumn because I was like, look, not to be creepy, but like I feel like we're connected, and I see this like string of us connected together, and she's like, oh no, totally, me too. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm not weird. But like, you know, it's nice that we find some people that we're tied to in one way or another, and then as a whole, as a family, like I don't know, like again, I don't use Facebook very often, but I am on here for you guys, and I don't know.
It's like, Pokemon. It's Rebecca's Pokemon.
Yeah,
It
there's
really
like Pokemon.
Literally, I stalk like Stacy said, like I don't use I literally made a Facebook to join this group, and I swear as soon as I see like a pop-up for you guys, like I don't have alerts, I don't think, for any of my social media except for this group, and I'm like, am I working? Do I care? No. Oh look, someone comes out of the group. We're gonna take care of this comes first. Thank you.
Literally me. As soon as I see a notification, I'm like, I gotta see what's going on.
I mean, I told this to Rebecca already, but because Rebecca asked, in words.
Stop drinking, Gabby.
I did stop drinking.
Clearly you didn't.
In regards to Maria and I, because Maria and I like talk daily. I literally call her when I'm driving home from work.
And show her your burritos that you're eating.
Exactly.
That is always the funnest part, because usually I haven't eaten, and yeah.
So she's just rubbing it in your face, being like,
Yeah.
burrito, my
Here's
God.
what I got a flashy. But anyway, she's like, did you guys know each other before you trip? I'm like, I did not know her until she commented saying she would help me plan the meetup when I asked for help planning the meetup. And since then, we also added Easy to that group as well, because we're all doing our Airbnb together. So
That's
it's
awesome.
I made friends.
I don't know. I did that too. I was texting actually, or FaceTiming, or not FaceTime. I was texting Autumn, and my husband's like, "Who you talking to?" I'm like, "Autumn," and he goes, "Your niece?" And I was like, "No, different Autumn. She's my friend. She's my internet friend. Leave me alone."
My parents are so like, what do you want?
I have a quick question.
I'm like, it's okay. What
were they rubbing in your face, Marie? I had to go there.
Oh, food.
Food. Burritos specifically.
I tend to
Gabby
not
and her
eat a
burritos.
lot. Yes, I tend to not eat a lot. So my ghost is always angry at me and say, "You need to eat," and I'm like, it's when I'm not busy, and then she'll call me. And then
I
be
get
like,
the
"Look at the food I
opposite.
have," and I'm like, "Thanks."
I get the opposite of, should you be eating that much?
No, I make her ghost life difficult, and I also make a lot of people's ghost life either difficult or really fun, I've noticed. Which is why Kat's ghost is actually my wingman now for Fort Fisher, apparently.
You're gonna get your ghosty friend Gabby. It's gonna happen. And then we want all the details.
I'm just gonna be like, this is a portrait I made, and it's gonna be a stick figure with a beard.
Gabby, it's Ghost Tinder all the way.
Ghost Tinder.
That's how I found my boyfriend.
We could do that.
Of a stick
We could
figure
make.
are you drawing, Gabby?
We
How
could
much of a
make.
stick figure are you drawing here? Let's
But
don't
think
hold
about
back.
it. We could make an app that was like basically Ghost Tinder for mediums, on top of the whole thing about, oh, do you want a blowjob? Here, touch the EMF detector. Like, we could make this happen. I don't know how we could make it happen, but we could.
I have actually somewhat to an extent cuddled with somebody in this group, ghost. Somebody that's not here right now.
Not mine. Not mine.
No, it wasn't Marie's ghost. He does not want my
Tell
cuddles.
them I miss him though.
But So I'm just like, I don't, for me, it's just like friendship because I cuddle like with my friends and my family all the time. It's just kind of like this is showing affection and like watching movies. So I'm like, I am willing to offer baked goods, cuddles, and net and all
Yeah,
the
so let me
I did not
offer
say
this.
Netflix.
I would 100% cuddle with Molly. Like she would be a great cuddle buddy.
10 out of 10, same.
All right, guys, I just want to, I've got to bail. But I wanted to just say goodnight to all of you guys. I love you guys. Molly, it was great to hang out with you. Rebecca, I hope you don't have much of a hangover.
Happy.
But you guys have a great rest of the night, and I'll join you on the next chat. Bye, guys.
How's everybody feeling? Does everybody feel okay?
Rebecca's got a thumbs down. You feel bad? You don't look like you feel bad. You look like you're having a great
Is
time.
not even talking at this point. Like she's making up her own psychic hand motions. So that
We're watching it. We're watching a
ASL
new
is
form of
like-
sign language be formed right now.
Okay, wait.
RPSL.
So like
Rebecca's
let's backtrack
psychic
for
language.
we'll backtrack for a minute. So we were talking about apps of Tinder and Rebecca made that face. Why are you making that face? What's going on between your ears, girlfriend?
So
How's Timothy, by the way?
what? How's Jimothy?
Yes.
He is having a time of self-evaluation right now. We're all very proud of him. He has been with his half brother.
Good.
I sound drunk. Shit,
because you are
Yes,
lovey.
you do, but You're fine, dear. You're fine, dear.
Yeah. So, Rupert, no, not Rupert. He's outside. He's very confused. He's with a friend. He's good. So, yeah, Jimothy has been having some self-growth recently, and we're all very proud of him. So I haven't seen him in a few weeks, and I'm not gonna cry about it because he's
Okay.
back. And it probably won't be anything that I put on TikTok either because it's something personal for him. So fun times. Yeah, Fanny has been hanging out with us a lot more recently. Like she hangs out at the house. She's been out on the porch. She's in the hammock. Okay, good for her. So what was the face?
We're talking about ghost Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this joke, right? Where I go to Fort Fisher with people and wind up with ghosts for people. So this is for Gabby. I had to warn her because I was like, yo, if I take you to Fort Fisher and I introduce you to guys, you have to be aware that you may come home with one. So because this happened with me. Granted, Jimothy is more like a brotherly figure to me. Though at the time, at the beginning, he may have been spent, no, I don't know. But like, I mean, I know, but like, I don't want to say that to him. So yeah. Anyway.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like and then I took Kat to Fort Fisher and she winds up with Arnold because I remember Arnold's, that was a whole thing. Like he had gone to Adam, who had gone to Sorsha, and was like, hey, I think it'd be cool to travel with somebody. And all of us were like, whoa, I don't know. Like I wanted to take him because I was like, oh, cool. But at the time, like Rupert and I were like kind of drawn. Like that was around the full moon in Scorpio of last year. So if you've seen that YouTube thing, so that was kind of drawn. So I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can take another ghost on right now. I've got to. So anywho, I took Kat to Fort Fisher and I was like, hey, there's this guy Arnold and he's looking for a medium. He's in the business for a medium. And then that happened. And then he was like cool with her and now he like lives with her. That's fine. And then, well, he's actually, no, anyway. So, fuck, I shouldn't do this when I'm drunk. So
what Rebecca's trying to say is that she inadvertently made
is ghost Tinder
sugar mama, sugar daddy service for the Fort Fisher guys to become sugar baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
we-
with the
She is ghost Tinder.
I am all for it. If and when I do appear, I do expect to leave with someone.
Oh shoot. Oh,
Living or
Rupert's gonna have a lot of feelings on that. Rupert's gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking vet some shit. Like, oh.
Well, if that's the case, he's going to have to step up and help me choose one.
He just walked in the door. He's like, what does she want? It's like,
Mama wants someone to help.
So you need to talk to Arnold, because I was talking with Kat on FaceTime the other day, and I was talking with Arnold, and I sent Kat a picture of the outfit I'm planning to wear to Fort Fisher that I bought specifically for Fort Fisher. He's like, oh, you'll be very popular with that. And then also I'm like, I'm bringing fried chicken and pie, Arnold. He's like, oh,
are you
well,
gonna
yeah,
pie?
she'll leave with someone.
I'm also interested in how
I'm
my
drinking
ghost-
so many bread and jams, so oh boy.
I'm also interested in how my ghost will react because Gabby and I are matching in outfits.
Yes.
So
I haven't even thought that far ahead. I still gotta book a hotel. I haven't even thought that far ahead.
So Marie and I are, but I already bought my dress. Marie's buying her dress during payday, but it's the same dress, but mine is white and blue and hers is black. So I said, we're just going to be matching opposites, and we're also going to have bows in our hair too. I'm like, and then we need to have another day where this is how we're wearing outfits. And I was going to let Izzy know about it too, so that we can all be matching in the same house.
I want to see
that now.
Because Izzy, I don't have a good memory.
And you're my brain.
Are you saying I'm not memorable?
No, I just can't remember anything. I'm a pregnant goldfish memory right now.
She's just too busy remembering everything for me.
I have never heard that phrase before, but I am in love with it.
When is this, guys? I'm only 3 hours away, so
we thought we'd meet for dinner on the 30th, so that's a Friday, September the 30th, but the actual event
that's
is going to
why
be.
I knew that I'm out of town for work, and I was like, I feel like I remember going through this already, but I'm very COVID sick, so
Yeah,
my
and
brain
then
is very small.
Ivy is in the works right now of doing a Florida one next year.
Awesome.
I don't know. Oh yeah, there you are. I'm like, where did Ivy go? I saw you earlier. I'm like, you were down here, now you're here. But Ivy's taking over that one just because she knows the area. So anybody in Florida specifically,
what part of
if you want to
Florida
jump in on
are we
that.
talking about?
I don't know. I only know Orlando because Disney
Okay.
World and Universal
Because I
Studios.
have family
do
from like
flying.
Ocala down to like St. Pete, so
I
can
only know
actually
like St.
forever.
Augustine.
There's a lot.
I've been there.
There's a lot of different haunted places in Florida, a lot of towns. The one I live in specifically is there's a lot of different spots that are haunted. But you can go up and down Florida on both coasts and find tons of places.
Yep. Where I was living in St. Pete, I noticed I ran into a lot of Native American down that way.
Seminole.
Big time.
Like,
That's all
yeah.
over the place.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're like I'd wake up in the middle of the night, there'd be like 6 people around my bed. And it'd be like,
Mhm.
y'all need to get the fuck out. I need to sleep at some point tonight.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yep. I went to St. Augustine, specifically to the Fountain of Youth area a couple of years back. We were doing a reenactment, and I slept in a tent on the property, and oh my God, I never got an ounce of sleep. It was constant in and out. It felt like I was in the middle of a
Constant
hallway.
moving,
The
absolutely.
whole of St. Augustine is like that. There's not
It
one
is.
square inch in St. Augustine. It's
And
where
Like
it's-
the only like good story I even have from St. Augustine, I was there last summer, and it wasn't a new moon yet. It was almost a new moon, or it was just after a new moon, something like that. And so the hotel we stayed on, I cannot remember I think it was La Fiesta, the little pink hotel. Well, you can't smoke on the hotel property. So, but they had this little gazebo thing on the way onto the beach. And so I'm sitting out there smoking. And my friends are like, we're gonna go walk on the beach. And it's like, mind you, like 10:30 at night. I'm like, that's such a bad idea.
Right.
And they're like, why? What could possibly go wrong? And I'm like, well, first of all, there's no lights on the beach. Second of all, there's no moon. Third of all, we're in St. Augustine. There's all kinds of reasons that's a bad idea. And they're like, no, it'll be fine. And so
No.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to sit my happy ass right here. And so I'm sitting there like looking at TikTok for like, it couldn't have even been 15, 20 minutes. And they go off onto the beach, get 15, 20 minutes, rolls around. I see them sprinting over the sand dunes. And they tried to explain what they saw and what happened. And they're like, the only way we can explain it is Ocean Slender Man. I'm like, well, okay then. And I'm like, so what's the lesson that we learned today?
Avoid nature sometimes, or else it will
Avoid
come
nature
upon you.
and listen to me when I tell you, let's not walk on the beach at 10:30 at night when there's absolutely no light.
And when you're actually at the fort itself, don't go meandering without a buddy.
Yeah.
And I mean that to the umph degree, because you will be wandering into active venues, and you literally walk through what it feels like a door is opening, and you're in the moment, and you have no clue what's going on, and you feel like I just interrupted, and you're being bombarded with a ton of emotion. It's a very scary sensation if you're not familiar with it. And thank heavens for my girlfriend who respects my sensitivity. And she says, okay, we're going to go now. And I'm like, I can't leave right in the moment. And she goes, it felt like she was casting a, lack of a better word, kind of like an anchor. And I had to pull myself through with that.
Oh, that's really cool. See, I have something similar with one of my coworkers, because I did come out to her that I was a medium, because she was talking about, I follow this girl on TikTok. Her name's Rebecca the Ghost Guide. I'm like, yeah, I know who that is. And anyway, so I was talking with her, and I explained, who I was and what I'm about. And I'm a really big empath, really big. So what you're talking about, like, I still struggle sometimes with a lot of people, but the fact that she knows, like, she works on checking her emotions when she's around me, because she knows I'll pick up on it. Just when if she's having a rough day, not to do that. And that's like so considerate. So your friend throwing out that lifeline for you, like, I totally get that. It's just nice sometimes for having someone check their own emotions. And I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling you so intensely, and this is really nice.
And in many cases, it's the tether between then and now.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way, it's like, okay, that's the only gateway I can see to walk back to the 21st century. So when you walk into a portal and you see all this pain and writhing distress and whatever is going on at that moment, it's like, okay, this is a little bit too much to handle. Help me get back to where I need to be. And
See, how often do you encounter a portal?
I've only experienced it 3 times.
Okay, because when I've experienced a portal, I get dizzy. Like, it's almost like I'm in a tornado, and I can't focus where I'm going, and I have to step back.
Very similar, Stacy. Very similar
description. Yeah. Lisa, where are you from? It's been bugging me the entire call. You have an accent of some kind. Where are you from?
Everywhere.
I've been trying to. I'm like, where's the accent from?
I'm actually, I was born originally in upstate New York, so I'm New England bound. But my father was in the service, so I'm pretty much from everywhere. I've been abroad. I've been in I've been to Great Britain. I've been to the South. I've been to New England. I finally settled in upstate New York, and now I'm living in the Midwest. So I was raised by my gran. So what you're hearing right now is my drunk reality. So, and I'm going to do a tell. And for everybody on here, and I hope Rebecca respects this, shall I be forthwith with the information?
If you so.
Rebecca?
Sorry, I unmuted to go talk to Jay, and now I'm unmuted.
Rebecca, Jay wants to say something.
I'm going to call it
I
out.
don't know if y'all.
Yes, I'm
Rebecca, if
here
you're still
now.
here. I want to take a minute and say
What
that
the fuck is
I
that?
realize I'm about the only person here today with a male body.
Permission to do a
And
tell.
thank you so much for being such an inclusive group.
You're
I'm a little
welcome.
bit tipsy and I'm emotional anyway, so
Dude, we're all tipsy. And Rebecca's trying to do upside down, right side heart.
That's far too much.
thank you all so much for
I'm
just
asking you for permission.
for being the community that you are.
And you know what? Good job. Good job, Rebecca, for not having bogeys in your
so
nose,
glad to
dude,
have
because
you.
your nose is clean. Good job.
Oh wait, Lisa, Rupert says that maybe you should be sober if you're going to be sharing particular information. I'm paraphrasing. He says much love, but
I understand. All right, then we'll wait. We'll give the given of the moment. You're probably right. God bless him.
He hasn't been here most of the time.
Rupert, our sober conscience.
Really though, which is ironic.
If those who haven't, those that have been on for a brief moment, there is a tether between myself and Rupert, and that is all I'm going to say. When I sober up, I will be more than happy to relinquish the information.
So is Rupert like amused or disappointed in drunk Rebecca?
Oh, I don't think he's well.
Can you imagine he's somewhat like confused, disturbed, and amused.
I think right now,
all the above.
All the above.
I think he understands the purpose behind it, but he's not happy about it. I'm getting a rolling eyes, lots of rolling eyes.
That's what my guy does all the time. He rolls his eyes at me all the time. Oh, I found out recently, side note, that my guide likes poetry. And so I read him some poetry and he said I did really bad at it. Cool. Thanks, dude.
Reading poetry is hard.
Reading poetry is very difficult.
It was
that he prefers.
I don't know what the author he prefers because we're doing a book sale at work and I was going through the poetry section and I heard him say, I love poetry. And I was like, and that resonated with me because I have that connection with him. I'm like, well, of course you do. And I was like, I'll read you some when I get home today. I have this book by, God, what's his name? Drunk Brain. He wrote Treasure Island. But anyways, he has a bunch
Robert Louis
of
Stevenson.
Yes. I have a big old book of his poetry from 1910 is when it was copyrighted. And so I read some of that to him and he was just like, you're awful at this.
Okay, so obviously it may not be the actual author that he clings to. I mean,
no, but it was just funny because he's just crass like that. Like he's kind of, like I said before, he's kind of like Mr. Darcy. If he's got something to say, he's going to say it. Is he nice? Yes. But sometimes he's just a dick how he goes about it. And I'm like, bro,
I mean,
I
do better.
Spare at least a singular feeling, please.
Well, he has this like, in my brain, I have different rooms for different things. So like if I'm channeling or if I'm meditating or with whatever, and I created this room to meet my higher self and it didn't work out. But he accommodated that room and Rebecca like verified that for me because she described the room to me in details. And I was like, how do you know that? And he likes to hang out there with the, I know. He likes to hang out in there with the books and be fancy because he's fancy. He's a fancy bitch. And he likes to read poetry. I mean, he's a little embarrassed I said that.
Oh, how cute. I love that. Maybe you find out more about what his likes are. I mean,
well, I did ask him because he did love horses, and I was like, "Is that why I love horses?" And he's like, "No, it's not like no. You like horses because you like horses. I like horses because I like horses. We are not similar that way." Like, he's just. And then he made me cry once, and he spelled out on my pendulum, stop crying, and I'm like, "Well, stop being a dick." I love him and he loves me. But then he turns around and says something randomly, like when I'm driving home, he's like, "You're so beautiful when you channel. Do you know that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's so nice. Why
You know,
are you so nice?"
and those little itty bitty acknowledgments and affirmations from those that
I
are
know,
on
they're
there.
almost ready.
I also like, and I was telling Rebecca this, my favorite game to play with him is like when we're driving home, I'll put on Pandora and like, pick a song for me. So I know it's from you to me, pick a song. And he rolls his eyes so hard at me. He's like, "I don't want to play this game." I'm like, "Just do it." Like, words of confirmation are my love language. Like, just do it. It's a 50-50. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. I think the last time we played, he played My Girl by the Temptations. And I was like, "Aw, you're so nice." And then he gets like, me.
I think that's endearing that they.
He is.
It's
I love him to pieces.
that the
I really do.
recording will not get the chat right now.
I'm sorry, Courtney.
It's too bad that the recording won't get the chat right now. Rebecca just typed "drunk happened."
We love drunk Rebecca.
I have a confession to make. It's
God
something
bless you, Stevie.
Cat
my
already knows
favorite-
this. I love her. That's what
That is
So that's why I stopped. That's why I stopped with the chat a long time ago. There's no.
I mean, okay, but like, okay, from 1 to 10, how likely are you to record a TikTok right now? And not post it, just to record it, just to be fucking funny.
No, because okay, the energy of TikTok right now is not good. I'm just throwing it out there because I posted a video today.
Yes, thank you. I feel the same way.
Yeah, it feels like
the algorithm is completely skewed.
Yeah,
It
I think they're
is.
pitting people against each other. Sometimes
really
I get
are.
stuff that's way off my algorithm, like opposite of my algorithm, and I think they're doing that on purpose.
Same.
And it's not even that, like, just like, I post stuff for work and stuff, like, I can't even do that. Like, it's just,
Things are like just weird on TikTok right now.
Rebecca, I can absolutely sympathize with you in regards to how skewed it is right.
Well,
The energy from posting has felt draining.
Yeah.
Like extremely
Yeah.
draining.
Like,
It's a money-making
forced.
entity.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah,
They're
except
interested
that
in what makes
we're
them
here
money.
for Rebecca, who in turn made us a family, and now we're the spooky family. With some of us may be drunk, me included, and Rebecca, and we are the spooky fucking family.
I mean, Stacey, some of us.
Rebecca went
were
down.
Oh, yeah.
On
Yeah.
the lettuce, Stacey. Some of us were even on the lettuce. So yes, we're all
Inhibited in some form, shape, way.
I won't say rolls with lettuce. I won't say that.
I wanted to say on the subject of TikTok, because I have special access to special information because I'm part of special groups and stuff.
What?
It's broken. There's been glitches, and if we all remember the great glitch of 2021, it is not dissimilar to that. Most
Gotcha.
of the higher leveled creators aren't really posting because there's no point.
Gotcha.
As I'm at work working.
All right.
I just wanted to come for the camaraderie because I'm
Drunk
just sitting
Rebecca.
here.
Drunk Rebecca is a lot of fun. Yeah.
I've heard. I got a separate message about it, Rebecca. Just letting you
Okay,
know.
wait.
Oh no! Were you told about my
I was
drunkenness?
told. I was like, oh, I want to go check out and make sure everybody's okay.
Oh shit! Because
Wait a minute. I just, I find it hysterical. Kat, we have something similar. I used to sell case goods myself. So what you're doing right now is something that I used to do in my past. So I used to sell bedroom furniture and mattresses myself. So
I had to make little tags to put on the bed, so I had to buy a label maker.
Amazing.
So, Rebecca, how is Molly doing right now? She doing good?
She's been touching Rupert. Rupert came in, and Kat, you know why Rupert came in, because his acquaintance or friend or not fuck. He does not fuck. That
we drink because she swore.
But Rupert came in. He's here, and
hello, honey. How are you?
And
hello, my guy.
Molly has been touching Rupert's arm, which has been annoying to him. He's been patting my head recently
because you're drunk, darling.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I will do this and only this once. Molly, stop.
Basically, she was like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm drunk. So I'm paraphrasing, but she was just like, she's touched. Yeah, he was just very.
Damn, I feel like I just got in trouble. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right?
No, I kind of froze.
That one line that's like, you're not my dad.
I will definitely remember this.
Am I frozen?
So
Wow.
I guess is Rupert having a good time with drunk Rebecca?
He should be.
I mean,
earlier, Rupert.
I mean,
sorry.
here's the thing, Rupert. If you want to know stuff like deep, dark stuff, now's the time to ask.
Very true. All the truth juice for a reason.
I mean, yeah, or liquid courage, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's
She'll
open
have
up that.
conviction in what she says.
What would you like to know about her? Shall we?
So
well, I have to go, everyone, but I just wanted to, it's been sitting with me as far as Molly, like when she had asked, like, why do we care about her? And I'm really gonna try not to get emotional, but like Molly, you posted a video of you and Molly on TikTok, and that's how I found you. And now I'm coming to fucking North Carolina, and my 20-year-old son, who we've had a really strained relationship, wants to come with me because he's never seen the ocean. But it's because of Molly that I now have this trip with my son. So that's really, like, as soon as I heard, I literally put it in my calendar. I took off work. I was like, I have to be there just to thank Molly in particular, because I mean, she's still doing work here, and it might not be the work that she is used to, but it's still like she will have a special place in my heart. So that's why I'm here, and I just wanted Molly to know that before I have to go.
Bonnie, it was beautiful words, and I want to cry now, but also Molly was like, he's 20.
He's gay, just so she knows.
That's not going to stop her.
Yeah, I was like, that's a challenge accepted.
But yeah, I gotta go. I guess the family thinks that they need supper, so I gotta go cook.
Oh,
but it was a blast. This was my first one.
Nice meeting you. Bye, Bonnie.
Bye.
Oh dear.
That was lovely.
That was so nice. That made me really emotional, and I don't know if that's just emotionally me being in touch with myself, or if that's the alcohol. I'm not 100% sure.
Blame it on the alcohol. I
Timber.
appreciate
I have a question going back to the whole TikTok thing. Is it even like worth it going onto TikTok now?
I think it's going through.
No.
And
I can't even doom scroll the way I want to.
You know,
I just need sound. Sometimes I need somebody talking to me.
What deep dark TikTok questions do you have? I have the knowledge and the Discord.
Just look for cat videos. I don't know what y'all are looking at.
I mean, like the whole thing about social media is social marketing, right? And if it is not used as a tool for social marketing, what's the point of this tool? So like what would be a better tool for social marketing?
Good question.
That's way beyond my drunk brain can comprehend right now.
That's beyond a lot of what my sober brain can figure out.
YouTube
this is what my drunk brain thinks about.
YouTube shorts. That's where it's at right now.
My brain is running at minimum capacity.
I'm a know-it-all when I'm sober. Like this is just the stuff that I think about.
That's true. You know a lot of things, and I love it. You know so
I'm
many
a little
things.
I'm a little bit jelly that you're like, this is my brain, and I can think about all these things, and my brain's going rainbows and sunshine and unicorns and drinking. Yeah.
Is you know so many things, and like every conversation I have, I'm just with her. I'm just like, whoa. I'm learning so much information right now.
And Rebecca's trying to soak up her alcohol with cake.
I was gonna say that's cake, right? And not throw up. I was a little alarmed when I looked over. I was like, do we need to get a bucket for Rebecca?
No. I'm gonna like supplement with my Pedialyte and hope and pray.
Wait, hear me out. Hear me out. So I'm very
Coffee
good.
cakes.
I'm very good as a drunk. Like, okay, wait, this is fucking bad. Okay, hold on. So I'm just saying, I have a rapport as a very responsible, a drunken person. Because
What are you saying shut up too?
Rupert, your boy. Anyway, so he was just like, really? And I was like, you didn't see me during the days of Oedipus Rex. I did have a show. It was local in town where people could pay to get the cast members drunk. It was very successful. We made a lot of money.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Love that concept.
It was beautiful. I may put it up again, maybe online someday. But anyway, maybe I don't know. Maybe this fucking happened. But like, maybe I don't know. Maybe we got a different bartender one night, and like he didn't understand the fucking parameters of the fucking show, which was not to actually fucking kill us. And maybe I had like a lot of shots within 90 minutes, and I wasn't supposed to. And a bunch of fucking mixed drinks, which was also not okay. I was like, nope, you can buy me one fucking drink. But anyway, there's the perimeters. So anyway, see, I did theater for a very long time, and I still love the theater. But anyway, pandemic happened. So why are you fucking listening to me? Anyway, so no. Anyway, so what I'm saying is I may have wound up at a Waffle House, and I may have been with some friends in town. So I didn't ask for that negativity. So
I said that's where you're supposed to go when you've been drinking.
I was like, isn't that
There's
part of
nothing
the
better.
course?
What you saying, girl?
So
Waffle House is exponentially better when alcohol has been involved.
This is the only time Awful House is acceptable.
Equation of a upstate, central New York equivalent of a Denny's at 2 a.m.
No, I won't do Denny's. If my only options are Denny's or like something else, I'm gonna go to like Steak and Shake.
Yes.
If it's available. It's not predominant in the East Coast, so you don't really have much choice. So it's Steak and Shake definitely in the Midwest, Denny's in the East Coast, Waffle House.
Oh, that's what a shake and steak is? Like, we have one. I've just never been there.
Shake and steak.
Go to the Shake and Steak. Get a Frisca melt.
So wait. I have to finish the story because otherwise it's gonna sound like I'm a fucking sloppy.
Oh
drunk.
dear.
So,
Yes, go on.
You already sound like a sloppy drunk, but we still love you.
Thank you. I appreciate your fucking love. So anyway, for those of you who are coming to the in-person hangout, surprise. Anyway, so anyway, so I went to this Waffle House and there's this woman in town who's actually fucking magic. Like she talks to animals. She's just like a wonderful human being. And she happened to be randomly at the Steak and Shake. She hadn't seen the show because she doesn't drink, which I fully respect. And I went there with a few friends who were totally drunk. And we sat at the table with her because we were like, oh my God, we love you. So we sat with her and she was fucking lovely because that's just who she is. If you ever meet this person, she's just wonderful. And one, she fucking healed me because the next day I was set out at like 5 a.m. and go to a friend with a theme park to a theme park that was 6 hours away. And she healed me. I kid you the fuck not. She healed me because I should have been hungover as fuck the next day and I fucking wasn't. So, wow, you're getting all the curse words today. Anyway, so, anywho,
I'm here for it. I'm living for this.
The point of this was I went to the Waffle House bathroom because I was not feeling so well. And the point of this is that I picked up everything. Like there was no spot.
No candy. No,
No
you had
one-
a lot of candy already. No more.
Yeah.
That's more.
So, anywho, I'm very, if I ever get sick, I'm very clean. And that's the purpose of this whole story. Why did you all listen to me tell the story? I don't know.
Wait, if you get
drunk
sick, you get
Rebecca
clean.
telling the
Like,
story is
wait, like
hella entertaining.
Like you clean up after yourself after you get sick. Like, is that what you mean by
But you're just really
clean?
tidy about it. Because I mean,
She does
same.
vomitron all over the place, y'all.
No, I'm like, especially if I'm drunk, I'm incredibly tidy about it. A wild Jay has appeared.
Yay, Jay is here.
By the way, if Rebecca did in fact say that she's tidy when she's sick, that's a lie.
At the Waffle House I was, Jay has seen me through many, many years. We've known each other for like half of our lives at this point. We weren't always dating at that point, but in DC, we happened to be dating. And this man, in DC, the 4th of July is like a different holiday. It's because everybody's bitter about the State of the Union that they go fucking nuts. So like, everything is crazy. This beautiful man.
I've never taken 2 hours to help somebody up a single stair by single stair before.
And you were
that's because you're a true gentleman.
I'm
so
designated.
lucky.
I may have tried to crash the car. I wasn't driving it. I just felt like I pulled the steering wheel, which was
That's
a
true.
mistake.
That's true.
He didn't know any of that. Anyway, so Molly's having a great time.
I'm sure.
We're all learning a lot.
And we're having a great time with Molly. We love you, Molly. Thanks for drinking with us.
Molly out here, the real MVP.
Raise a glass.
We've been at this for a while. Does anybody else want to share a story? Maybe I should stop talking. Rupert says,
I don't know. I really like Rebecca swearing a lot. It's really relatable.
It makes me.
I'm so glad we didn't have the rule of drink when Rebecca swears.
Oh,
right.
Then we might have been a little bit more screwed than we already are.
Yeah, like the was already enough.
I definitely
basically-
understand the organic what's the word I'm looking for? Help me, Rupert. The very basic elements in what you are. That is you. There is nobody truer than the sense of what you bring to the table. So obviously you are the antithesis. Is that the word I'm looking for? Ma'am?
He's just
yes,
like, I
that's
don't
the word
know.
I'm looking for. Antithesis of jubilation.
Yeah. You're the
Happiness.
whole reason we're here. We're
yeah,
here
when you're
because
looking
of
for the
you.
word
Look what
epitome-
you did. In the best way. Like that sound like accusing. Sorry. Watch that. We're here because of
we're
you and what
here.
you.
I mean, you have to celebrate yourself. In all retrospect, whether it is in whatever plane you exist, and hopefully we're talking about the 21st century plane, but what you bring to us, you give us validation, you give us information, you give us acknowledgement, you give us value.
Are you trying to make her cry? Because she's going to start crying.
For that. I don't care.
Well, I do, because I'm going to start crying. I don't want to cry.
You know what? I mean, we have to address and emote emotions which need to be acknowledged. And if we need to cry, we will cry.
Yeah, but then Rebecca's gonna cry, and then I'm gonna cry, and then maybe all the rest of it cry. Exactly. Like, keep your emotions to yourself, Rebecca. Damn.
Are you telling me you guys haven't been crying?
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Mary,
go for it, Rebecca. Yes.
We are
Bottoms up.
incredibly thankful for who you are.
Yes, we really are. So
Cheers.
thanks for making us. Thank you for making us the spooky fam, because we wouldn't be here without you.
Hey,
Big spooky fam is great.
It's so nice to have people that, you know, understand and grasp, you know, the experiences as that, you know, I've had throughout this entire fucking joyride on Earth.
Thank you, dear.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of alcohol involved right here.
Is this the part of my real cry?
Right.
Guys.
Don't know.
I mean,
like when you're about to tell a story of like something spooky that happened, like you really want to start with, this is gonna sound crazy.
But
and thankfully, like Rebecca's laughing because of all of the little side conversations we've had, but thankfully, like in this community, like we do not have to start with, this is gonna sound crazy, but we can just tell our story, and that's
the best part.
Amazing.
Well, or even it's like something new that happened, like what I posted yesterday of like I had that random spirit come through that just needed like a comfort real quick. Like that was odd as fuck. I was like, okay, first of all, you're new. And I'm like, okay, I guess I need to lower my shield a little bit. Why are you giving me anxiety? And then there was like, oh, I'm good now, thanks. I'm like, okay. Bye.
The time that Ed showed up while I was in the shower.
Oh, that's so God.
I'm trying to wash my hair. And next thing I know, Ed kind of leans like half torso way through the shower door. And he's like, hey, what's up? My name's Ed. Nice to meet you. I'm going to be hanging around for a while.
Ooh.
Oh, cool. That's great. Nice to meet you.
I mean,
turns out he was in like World War I. He was an Englishman. Either way, awesome dude. But the strangest of introductions, because I mean, I was fucking naked in the shower. I'm like,
that's a hell of a way to
be. Read the room.
Talking, but
read the room.
Right.
That's true. Well, I mean, like I said, like, you know, my friend Nora, she's like, I won't talk to you, you're naked, but my spirit guide's like, he'll full on have a conversation with me while I'm in the shower.
Like it's like secondhand, like whatever, we're just gonna keep rolling with it.
I mean, you know, whatevs.
I have to admit that there have been, especially with the new moon phasing in, especially tonight. I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing this, but I've had some pretty interesting woo-woo on my end.
Really?
So, yeah.
At home or at work?
Okay. Oh, no, at home. At home. But we've addressed it, and we've equated what had occurred. So we're moving forward with it and saying, okay, we've addressed it. It's okay. We're moving forward, but it seems to be glitching, and everything that's going on right now due to the new cycle There seems to be a lot of hiccup. So thank God for family. Because if there wasn't any family involved, I would be like freaking out right now.
See, I ward my house with my energy and put that barrier around it. And thankfully, I don't get anybody who comes through because I don't want to have to put my shield up at home. That's my space. But when I'm at work, that's when it will happen. It's usually like, oh, you're new. And they're like, talk to me. And I'm like, I'm at work. Can it wait? Like,
sometimes it can't. Or better yet, they just appear and they're like, what am I doing here?
Oh, and I actually, one of my coworkers came by and she's like, I swear to God, I think I just kicked a ghost. I'm like, excuse me? And she goes, I was walking down the hallway and she goes, and I felt like this cold pocket, but it felt like I actually like physically kicked something. Oh. And I said, oh, that was probably Billy. He likes to sit in the hallway. She's like,
Billy in the hallway.
Billy is this little boy at the library who hangs out in the children's section. He doesn't really like to talk to me all that much. He will sometimes. Frank has whistled at me once, and the gray lady ghost that haunts the library, she won't talk to me at all. Like at all. She'll talk to my guide that will talk to me, but she will not talk to me. And a lot of it is because the way the library business is the revolving door. So why get attached to somebody who's just going to leave? So I'm like, and I opened it up to her. I'm like, if you want to talk to me, you can, but I respect your space if you respect mine. And then the whole clock thing happened. And that was me doing a lot of bitching of, you don't need to be breaking shit. Like, I understand that you probably could be somebody that's just passing through and you decide you're angry and you're going to break shit. You don't need to be doing that. I was very angry about it. Like, don't ruin my library.
They're doing what they know is an attention getter. That's probably it. And thank heavens you addressed it. So.
Oh, I was pissed. I mean, there's nobody there. I'm sure people walk by, they hear me talking to no one. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. You don't need to be destroying shit like this. Address your anger elsewhere.
I'm like that too. Like I usually don't get stuff in my house, but I think I had something the other day and somehow my dog got like locked in the pantry room at night. And that door's hard to push. And I'm like, if you can push the door, you can push a broom. So if you're going to stay around, I need you to get to work.
I love that.
Roommate without rent. Okay.
Well, and I had a really intense synchronicity that happened yesterday. Do you want to open up with the start of that?
Which one are we talking about? There was a lot yesterday.
There were multiple.
You're right. Okay, that's fair. I was talking about the one with the thing in the closet.
Oh. Yeah. So, I recently found out through a records reading that I have been fae in 2 past lives. Okay. So if you have any weirdness going on and you think it might be a creature, just shoot me a message. Because I can connect with all of them, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have a hard time connecting with human spirits. They come through as static. Unless they have a very strong sense of who they are.
Oh man.
But I have a small fae army in my backyard. Okay, I'm just gonna say it.
Poor Jay.
So I'm used to talking to them, and I got the ping that Izzy had fae living in her closet. She had briefly said something, and I was like, I could probably help you out with that. She's like, it's not a problem or anything. I was like, well, let me just talk to him, just see what happens. Turns out he's a rock fae. And Izzy was like, oh yeah, I've gotten mossy energy off of him before. I'm like, yep. and I felt like I was entering a cave when I was checking him out. And later she told me that there's a crawl space underneath her room. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's his cave. Like that's his favorite spot to hang out in your closet is how he gets there. And then when it came to his name, I asked him what his name was. And I don't speak Rock Fae, because they're like, think an audible earthquake. That's what they sound like when they're like language. And I was like, I can't say that. I can't do that. And he was like, yeah, you could just call me Jerry.
This is where I take over. Yeah. So my grandmother is she does readings with angels specifically, and she's been giving them my entire life. She'll give them like unconsensually, and it's like not cool, but like she's absolutely senile now. It's just gonna be a thing until she dies. And so like a lot of my upbringing, like I've been adjacent to a lot of what we talk about. So it's just kind of normal for me to talk to her, and then she'll like just bring up random intuitions that have been told to her. And Courtney says this name and I'm like, no fucking way. She and Day are like, what? And I'm like, I pull out 2 journals that I've written these readings in, just to like keep them on what my grandmother calls a memory shelf. And I don't even remember how many times I pointed out, here's Jerry, here's Jerry, here's the name Jerry, this page has Jerry, that page has Jerry. It had to have been 20 odd times where my grandmother had said the name Jerry, keep it on a memory shelf. And yeah, so Lisa, you're talking about
the style bit. That was funny.
The what?
You remember you were like, I like his style, and then you literally turned to that page.
Okay, Courtney, I'm gonna call you out right now.
Okay.
I just saw an image behind you, and it was blatantly obvious. It was more of I would have to say more of a energy that was more of a smoke energy behind you, or a cloud energy behind you, and it was blatantly obvious.
What was?
It's scary.
That it was a fairy?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Hello, Jerry.
He's in my closet. So
yeah.
Obviously he doesn't have an issue with time is of course relevant regarding our beings, so to speak. So they have no issue, but actually seeing that image of Courtney and Day and having him in the background as a smoke figure, I saw it blatantly. So acknowledgement. Anybody else that saw him, please let me know for affirmation and acknowledgement. But if that was the first time I've ever actually seen the Fae in the physical. And I don't know if because I'm in a heightened state of being, aka drunk. I don't know if
Is that what we call it now? Is that what drunk is?
Where I am at the moment.
I would equate so. I would equate it to so. So yeah. Congratulations, Courtney. Someone else as myself acknowledge you, or actually acknowledge Jerry
Yeah.
in the now, in the being. So that was creepy, by the way. Just putting it out there.
They are. I think that Jerry and I knew each other before, like so I was not mean at all. I was just like, hey, you need to not mess with my friend Izzy. Like, don't trip her up, don't mess with her stuff, like leave her shit alone, don't mess with her car, don't mess with her electronics. And he was like, oh, I didn't know it was you. I didn't know you were her friend. Like, I promise I won't. And like, that does not happen with, but I think he knew me. So
I had no idea.
Weird.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I got friends on the other side. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who is he?
When Lisa, when you said like there's weird stuff going on with this new moon, there's weird stuff going on with this new moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to acknowledge that and confirm that. There was a moment of last night was a good example. I was talking to my guides, and all of a sudden this new individual came on board, and I was like, hello, why you're new, what's your name? And I addressed this with Rebecca this morning, and it was like, okay, it seemed off, absolutely off, and we wanted to make sure that the energies were vibing correctly. And because let's be honest, if it's like anybody else, they have their days, things don't go well, and maybe they had an off day and they weren't supposed to be there. We corrected the issue, thank heavens, and everything's good. It was just a glitch in the system, whatever that system is. So I feel better for it. There was definitely a sense of, I acknowledged it, and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And even my guides pretty much gave me the heads up and saying, you may want to check on this. So we did, and we got clarity. So absolutely, this particular moon phase is definitely way out of sync. I'm not even doing the traditional methods of meditation due to the sake of, I just feel that it's really funky and it's not as clear as the other moons has been. So I'm just going to do the basics and leave it.
Well, and I find it interesting too that you said, like, with the energy that you got, like, you're new, because that's exactly what happened to me, except I was driving home and it was all of a sudden this energy, and I'm trying to sort, like, who are you? Are you Nora? Are you Stefan? Or, who are, and I was like, oh, you're new. And I had human needs to take care of, and that included going to the bathroom and eating. And I was like, look, I can't do this right now. I have needs, and you can't come into my house. Can I talk with you tomorrow? And I didn't wait for an answer because I'm a little bit of a dick and I needed to potty. So there was that. But I find it, but I find it interesting that you two said that, oh, you're new. And it was just this new energy. And I was thrown off guard. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense.
So there's some validation in regards to how things are going right now.
If we're going to talk about synchronicities too, I think it's also important to mention that, like, Izzy does the weekly cartomancy readings, and the one for this week, I was like, yeah, I kind of, at the beginning of the week, I was like, yeah, I kind of vibe with it. I appreciate it. But then I did a records reading on myself the other night, and went back to the cartomancy reading and was like, holy shit balls, Batman. Like,
yeah,
this is so dead on. And not only that, but then like the next day, Izzy sent me a TikTok, and the TikTok directly related to my records reading that I did on myself.
I had no knowledge of the reading.
Yeah.
I still don't.
No knowledge of the reading. And it was just like, it's all connected, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
what you described as the drippy ballsack of depression and like awful, that has been the whole entire week.
Oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Nailed it.
I'm really sorry. That wasn't the reading I wanted to give. That's just what the cards were saying. And I was like, I am nothing if not honest.
Oh, I love it. But you know, the dripping ball sack was just a great.
They described it to me. It was a dripping sack of depression. And I was like, oh, this is gross, but I'm into it. So let's do it.
Ivy, thank you.
I'm gonna go back to what we said earlier. We need a sack reading for the next week.
Actually, I have a boat kit,
But you
but I
gotta
can put
get
into a sack.
Molly in to help you out with that because she knows how to read the sacks.
She knows how to read a sack.
Oh,
and well
wait.
too.
Okay, wait. So side note. Okay, okay. I'm like sober now, so like I'm saying this with conviction. So my husband has vitiligo. So those who don't know, that means you don't have any pigment, and so like he's whiter and white than some portions than the other, and it happens to go in that area. So like one side's lighter than the other, and he's like, it's like you know, hey, you can have like 2 different flavors.
Different flavor?
I don't know. He's trying to make light of it. I'm like, that is just okay. I mean, whatever. But so when you said that, that's what I mean. You mean this nicely. When you said that, my husband's ball sack came into my head of 2 different colors, and that's what.
So he's Neapolitan. Like sherbet ice cream.
I was going to say Neapolitan.
Yeah,
with
kind of. Yeah.
Sprinkles.
It's just it's interesting. I mean, he has it all over his body. It's just interesting that it would also be there too. So there's
Okay,
that.
we're gonna have
You're
to do a
welcome,
body
Molly.
check.
Even though, you know, I saw Rebecca like downing wine over there, just bottoms up. So good job,
Should
girl.
we do a body check right now? Can we go back to Rebecca? My Can you let me know if you are okay?
You're muted.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
Totally on mute.
He is in fact not okay.
No, I've been enjoying this conversation, and I have Jay here.
Enjoying the conversation of listening to us while you're downing a bottle of wine.
Yeah. I just needed a physical. I just needed a visual.
I'm no, because what Autumn texted me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm okay." So anyway, I've got my Pedialyte. I'm really good. Like I promise. I after I drink, I always put out like a bunch of water for myself with the straw, so I don't have to try. And then
did you make hydration jello thingies? Good. Hydration jigglers.
I didn't get a chance to because I didn't get a chance to find vegan jello.
Vegan.
Something to say?
No.
It's really good.
But I have Pedialyte I know I must have looked like a really sick person because I made an order with the DoorDash people the other day of Advil and Gatorade and vitamin water and Pedialyte. So I'm very well stocked. Why am I rambling? I do this sometimes. So yeah,
You're doing great. You're good. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to know where you were in physical because I couldn't see you on my screen. And Mom wants to make sure you're okay.
Yes, I'm good. And Molly is good. She's still here. She's just watching this happen. And she finds this very interesting that I'm like this. And she's never seen like this before.
Is she still drinking? Does she like her wine?
She's still drinking.
Yes. She says she's had better. Hey, you pick this out. Rupert's very good at picking out drinks, by the way. He's picked out like 2 for 2 already that have been very good. But he keeps doing this. I don't know if anybody's picked up on that, where like he's sitting here and he keeps doing this and he's like, no.
I'm sorry. I can sense it, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm good. I promise. I'm a very responsible person. I don't do unsafe things. So
We know that you have the support system around you. We're not worried about that.
Yeah,
You have
and safety's
family.
relative anyway.
Thanks. I don't have anything interesting to say, I don't think. So I've just been
That's okay.
I've been a good little introvert where I'm just like, people are talking and I am happy. So
Oh, good. I just
love you,
thought it was
dear
funny
one.
while we're in the middle of a conversation. All of a sudden, I see a bottle going up. I was like, "Oh damn!"
There she goes. A few minutes ago, and I'm like, you know what? That's a vibe. I'm not even gonna draw attention to it.
We love you, dear one. We love you.
As long as if you're having a good time, I mean.
Oh, absolutely. If I weren't, I
Okay.
would leave. I promise. Because
So does that mean like you leave all the time on our other ones?
Whoa,
You aren't having a good time. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm only saying that because that's my anxiety self. That's how I would take it. So I'm gonna,
The last chat, Jay had brought home food from a fine establishment called Cookout, and I didn't die from eating it. So that was
That's true.
Exception.
That would have been a good time.
Why isn't he not doing it this time around?
Jay, are you getting Cookout tonight?
No.
Okay, that's fine. We just bought a bunch of food.
Something's off.
Right.
Rupert,
It's the moon. It's the moon.
We're gonna jump off and take care of our little tornado named Hank. So we will
Courtney,
catch y'all
Jay,
later.
Wonderful to see you.
I gotta go too, guys.
And
Bye,
I need
babe.
to
Bye,
know
Courtney. Bye, Ivy.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Happy to see your faces.
Yes.
Yes, happy to see yours.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I guess we've been on for like 4 hours or something like that.
Celebrate.
How time flies.
Time doesn't exist.
Is this an all-nighter? Like what's going on here? Like
I got all the time in the world and no place to be, so.
Didn't somebody mention sleepovers in the group yesterday?
What is that? Like we just